Development Plan Destiny.
My name is James Dabo Jala. I'm the Commissioner General Designate for the Liberia Revenue Authority.
Beginning with the Senator's introduction, I'm Senator Prince Kemuboy of Bond County, Chairman of the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, Development Planning.
I'm Creighton Oldman Tompkins, Senator of Sino County, co-chairman on the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance, and the Budget.
Senator Prince said he will second, Representative Virginia. I'll go to the chair.
Daniel Falomo Gil.
Dave Level Brown, representing Maryland County on this committee.
Chair Salah.
Senator Todd Joseph, representing Masalado on the committee.
Senator Wesley Tinley, Grandmaster County.
Senator Augustine Chair, Finance County.
Thank you, colleagues. So we'll ask our colleagues, Senator Jobo, to read what we have agreed on as our working tools to guide this hearing. Senator Jobo.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, distinguished senators. The nominee will be given each 15 minutes to make a presentation to the committee. And after that, each senator will be given 5 minutes to interact with the nominee at the turn. 5 minutes. And yeah.
Go ahead.
And then we will take 5 questions each are concerned from the public for each of the nominees, and that those concerns will be written and given to the sergeant and we send to the chairman things to have the public interaction in the process. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable, for that piece of work that's done. So with that said, we will now take the Minister Destiny, the Minister of Finance and Development Planning.
The co-chair of the
Oh, sorry, thank you. That's why we will have 4 heads in the room. No, yeah, you should do your opening statement and then do the presentation.
Well, thank you, colleagues, for being present. Mr. Nominee of the Ministry of Finance, and also Honorable Jala, the nominee for LRA. We'd like to welcome you to this chamber of the Senate and to this committee. All eyes are on you because the position that you get nominated for is very key in our country. We are at this transitioning period, and our people are waiting to be paid, and the entire country is looking at the two of them.
Yeah. What judges, co-chairman,
Sergeant, please restore order. Please restore order. Sergeant.
They don't have control. We, they are on our ground. We should be able to control. No, we should be able to control.
A bona fide citizen of the Republic of Liberia,
a bona fide citizen of the Republic of Liberia,
do hereby swear
do hereby swear
that the testimony I'm about to give
that the testimony I'm about to give
to my recollections
and to my recollections
is the truth,
is the truth
nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Mr. Chairman, witnesses on the stand are qualified.
Thank you.
With the oath being administered, we now take the 15-minute presentation on the Minister Designate, Minister of Finance and Development Plan.
Distinguished Chair and honorable members of the Senate Ways, Means, Finance, and Budget Committee, all the distinguished senators, members of the legislature, my family, friends, and well-wishers, members of the press, the people of Liberia, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful to our Lord, Yeshua HaMashiach, for the gift of life. Let me first extend sincere thanks and appreciation to His Excellency President Joseph Newman Boyka for the trust and confidence reposed in us to manage our nation's finances. We would like to assure the President that upon confirmation, we will serve our country as servant enablers of prudent fiscal management underpinned by the spirit of teamwork. We also extend profound thanks to this honorable committee and the entire Senate for the opportunity to appear before this august body for confirmation year. Distinguished senators, our years of service to our nation has been and will always continue to be characterized by the fear of God, unfettered love for the motherland, and respect for all people marked by tolerance and humility. Honorable senators, special recognition goes to my wife, Anthony Nadia Satus, sitting on my far left, Kamara, and children who have been the pillar and source of strength in everything I do. Indeed, a blessing and a rare find. The Lord has gifted us with 5 beautiful children. We come to this call with over 22 years of work experience both at home and abroad, dealing with monetary, fiscal, development planning, and innovative financing for health issues at regional and continental levels. At the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, West Africa Regional Office, we help to implement, monitor, and evaluate the report on the Agenda 2030 and the African Union 2063 in West Africa, assisted with the formulation of ECOWAS Vision 2050 framework document, supported the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, CFTA, in the West Africa region, and also coordinated impact assessment of COVID-19 and recovery response, among others. Our task at the African Union Center for Disease Control and Prevention Africa CDC included focusing on the facilitation of partnerships between the Africa CDC and finance and economic planning communities, developing strategy and identifying the best practices to engage relevant stakeholders, to leverage financing for health, supporting the health economics and financing program of the Africa CDC, to develop context relevant to health financing mechanism to boost investment in public health. As we seek to build a vibrant economy that is inclusive and where jobs are sustainable, the time for all Liberians to put our nation first is now. We must confront and meet the foe with valor unpretending. The main reason for our economic backwardness is the old economic model, which relies mainly on exploitation of raw materials, especially iron ore, rubber, and other minerals, with limited emphasis on economic diversification, which usually paves the way for industrialization of an economy. We must be intentional about innovation and thinking outside the box. And outside the box thinking, for example, should consider the Liberia's program with the IMF should be one that should go side by side with a robust, coordinated, and integrated framework that maps out where resources are to be spent for optimal results. The new economic model that should resonate with all Liberians, especially policymakers, can be coined in the slogan "Made in Liberia," a commitment. By giving the private sector center stage in policy decision making as the engine for growth and development. The time has come to move away from government being the largest employer to the private sector as the anchor for sustainable job creation. Government's policy should intentionally support domestic value addition, with Liberian entrepreneurs leading the charge. In this regard, the government should work with our development partners to ensure that development assistance be aligned with our national development plan. A big thank you to our development partners for the continued support to the government and our people. Tangible investment largely in agriculture value chain, where smallholders are supported smartly,
come together to create an organization that is not only efficient and effective, but also trusted and respected by the people it serves. With your support, I am confident that we can achieve these goals and contribute significantly to our nation's prosperity. Before I end, I would like to make special recognition of my wife, Sada. Sada, raise your hand. Yeah, I want to extend my special gratitude to her because she has been my partner from junior high school. Yes, we were in junior high together and we used to be sneaking from our parents. We were the same age. Yeah. So she has been my pillar of strength and my support. And she has made a lifetime commitment to me and will continue to be so. I want to thank her. I want to thank our children. Unlike the minister that has only 5, you say? Yeah, we have about 24. Yeah. And we are very thankful. So I'd like to submit, Mr. Chairman and honorable senators.
I have directed and coordinated bilateral and multilateral education programs in the United States in partnership with institutions in China, South Korea, and Brazil. My experience and training demonstrate management of donor funding and requisite reporting required with the implementation and management required from administrative donor projects. In addition, my experience as an application reader for the 2024 Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders has provided me with in-depth insight on how to compose competitive applications. This experience will prove beneficial in bolstering the competitiveness of our future fellowship applications. Permit me now, Mr. Chairman and honorable committee members, to present some highlights as the basis for the Senate hearing and for other aspects of our engagement, by first re-emphasizing His Excellency President Joseph Numa Baka remarks in his State of the Nation address, where he echoed the need for revitalizing our education system, and further, education is a fundamental right and not a privilege.
On not only parents, but for those of us who are direct representatives. In my little mind, I go to this school, this is my school fee, I'm taught I'm supposed to graduate. By logic, it is a school that owes me credential as a testimony. But all the institutions in the country now, graduation fees, $200 US, $150 US, $400 US, they're making serious action. And then you see parents running to us. Sometimes we ourselves cannot afford that amount of money. How do you intend to address this issue? Thank you.
So those are three concerns from the senator from Riverside County.
I thought the nominee will respond to senator or senator rather than doing it party. Let the senator have time to engage.
Yeah. We want to make a conversation.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, time.
Yeah,
we don't
within
give
time.
you time. Instead of get 5 minutes, have a conversation with you so the public can understand.
So that each senator has engagement.
Engagement.
No rushing.
Yeah, thank you. The one saying I agree with that. The reason why I get to the time some time because you don't have anything to say, so I consider the next person. Okay, 10 minutes each.
No rushing.
10 minutes each. So when you're 10 minutes, you're not going to buy again because
conduct a county tour and educator stakeholder engagement to understand the needs of the sector. While I have read on numerous reports, policy commitments, various policies as relates to the sector, hearing firsthand from the field is important to ensure that what's been captured in these reports truly are in consonance with the needs of the people and the people in the counties. So by that assessment, I will be able to determine infrastructural needs. I will be able to determine where resources must be placed. I will be able to address, identify the issues with volunteer teachers where there is high demand, and also to the areas of the pension. You talked about the pension teachers, teachers that are pensioned and them not being paid or compensated. And also those teachers not being replaced. The volunteer teachers is an avenue to fill that gap. Doing that skill assessment of the volunteer teachers, identifying them to fill the gaps for what has been left on the gaps left from the pension, the teachers that are pensioned. Looking at and studying the pension scheme and understanding why teachers are not being paid. And working with, you charge, for example, a student $200 for graduation fee, or you charge a student certain amount of dollars for, tuition fees. And you look at the infrastructure that the student is being taught in, it is misaligned. So until we sit as a board and regulate some of these things and create standards to make sure that schools do not just arbitrarily raise fees on our poor parents who are struggling to educate their students, in addition to the providing subsidies for students who need support. These are areas that in my 100 days I plan to try to assess, to lay out what the plan will be moving forward.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. George.
Again, we're here, folks. I'd like to say welcome to another edition of the show. This is the Late Night Show, the Late Night Politics on Spoon. We're here live across the Spoon Network, Spoon 107.5, Fabric 101.1, Super 95.5, and other frequencies across Liberia. Thanks to all of you who have joined us online. Of course, we are streaming live on YouTube, and the handle is Spoon Talk Live. We're also live on Facebook, on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, and Super TV. Thanks to all of you who have joined us from via these different mediums, and welcome again. This is where we get to talk about Liberia, the trending issues, and of course, we express our views and of course make some critical analysis on those issues as they unfold every single day. So it's good to be here again today. My name is Nelson Colette, and let me just go across now and bring in the team. It's going to be a great show, a fascinating discussion coming up today. I encourage to kindly share the program as you come on tonight. Oh my God. Kindly share the program as you come on tonight, because it's going to be very interesting. And thanks to all of you who have joined us tonight. Let me just bring in the team as I try to recognize a few of you who have joined us tonight. Let me say welcome to the show, Shirley. It's great to have you on tonight. Thanks for joining us so much in time tonight. I must give it up to you. Thank you. Imagine Raymond is eating on the show. Oh my God.
I got an MVP tonight.
Yeah. Sherry Gun said first. You will not imagine, you will not believe what that guy is doing.
I can't believe you, Raymond.
Raymond is seriously eating.
You didn't know you are gonna bring him on.
No, he knew. The man.
Nelson, your camera is really bad. Can you clean it a little bit?
Your camera is blurred.
Yeah, your camera, Nelson. Josh is right. Hi, Josh.
Hi, Sally. How are you guys doing? Miss
Doing
Cole,
great.
how are you?
Raymond, in case you're ready to come on, you can signal to us. Yeah, but it's good to be here again tonight. Let me bring Raymond on. Raymond, thanks for joining us.
Raymond, are you eating the greens?
No, not eating. Chewing isn't eating.
What?
Chewing isn't
You see? Well, no book. The man is about to give the connotative and denotative.
Honestly, chewing is not eating.
No.
You know,
he can be chewing chicle.
Right.
He can be chewing gum.
Right.
Is he swallowing anything?
No, but he can swallow his spit.
You know.
This is what I was, if you will call it.
Okay.
But let me bring Alfred on. Alfred, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna have a great show tonight. Let me just recognize a few of the folks that are here. I see Honorable Richie, Nyaka Junior, Adobayu Deconti. Hey, my own mom, Madam Joyce, Lorraine Clinton Harmon. I see Henry Misga. Yeah,
Mohammed.
Yeah, Mohammed Senwe. Share the name looks like yours are Eastern name. Mohammed Senwe.
My uncle's son right there.
Yeah. So Mohammed, thanks for joining us tonight. May Tapla, where are you coming from within the outing? thank you for joining us. Um, Marima Bimba, thank you. And yes, to everyone, man, we appreciate you for joining us tonight. Kindly share the program.
Robert,
Yeah, I see
Joseph,
Robert.
Nathaniel.
Elston, legendary Wise. Yes, thanks for joining us. So let's have a great show tonight. Let's start with the regular what's on your mind. Lots of issues to talk about. Yes, our brother Cindy isn't well. I tried reaching out, couldn't get him. You can reach out to Cindy, and yes, he's not well. But again, the rest of the team will be joining in. Officer Hans Johnson is on duty right now, so he says he can't join in, but he will be in the comment section and making his contribution from there. Renee Sando, thanks for joining us. You said from Minnesota. So let's just do our quick 1 minute. What's on your mind? I really want to work on my camera so you guys can take off from here. Shirley, you can handle things as I do make a quick adjustment in the background. So, but we will start from Alfred with
No,
the
I want you to sell all your gadgets because I have a concern that I want to address before I say anything tonight. So make sure your gadgets and everything
okay.
is
I'll go backstage for a while, but Shirley, you
okay. Yeah. So I'll be the last person to talk.
and adjust.
All right. Well, I will start with Joy. Josh, can you tell us what's on your mind?
Look, what is on my mind? So many things on my mind, but just to narrow it down to our politics in Liberia, what is on my mind is the uncertainty that people are faced with now in Liberia. The president is not speaking. He's gone mute on so many issues that are bread and butter.
Or could we please put our phone on mute so we can be able to hear Joy? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, some of the bread and butter issues like the free wire program that was happening, the free public universities and colleges that were tuition free or maybe fees free, excluding registration. These things are bread and butter things, and the president is not talking anything about it. Or we're talking about the increasing prices on the market, and even LEC. Now LEC has gone backwards since maybe 2 weeks now. People are complaining. Even the radio station that we are currently on, a lot of people call and they express the same concern that something needs to be done. And the slow pace at which the president is announcing his cabinet, I think is concerning. I think it's about time that he has to reinvigorate what he's doing to make sure that the rescue process gets into place because Liberia needs rescue. That's one of my mind.
Well, thank you so much, Joy. We will go to Sis Cora. Could you please tell us what's on your mind and want to say welcome to the show? Seems like it's been a while. You are still on mute. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Good evening. Honestly, I'm happy to be on. Yesterday, I was there shortly. And what's on my mind, it has to do with with my president. You know, over the campaign, he been really working hard. He stayed a lot of times, time in the States. He came back. I think I want him to stay in the office and allow people to go in the field to attend graduation process or activity. I would like for other people to go do, those things, going to Bomi County, telling people thank you for what they have done, other counties. I want him to rest, and do the office job for now. So it's too overwhelming for him after what happened during the inauguration. I think I would love to have him in the office and then he can decentralize most of the things he wants to do, give people the responsibility to go out there to do it. And I can tell you, before his tenure is over, he can visit any graduation. He can do everything he want to do. He can say what he want to say. Everything he's saying right now, we know about it. We want to see it happening. We want to see our pillars being started, those things that we expect to happen. I'm not saying it will automatically go bloom like speak like that, but let's have the foundation. Let's see things happening from on his side. But I feel so worried when I see him attending programs at this time. It's too early, and for his health and for the love I have for him, I want him to stay in the office and organize line of activity and allow people to go out for the first 1 year. That's
Thank
what's
you
on my mind.
so much. Thank you so much, Sis Cora. So, George, his concern is that the president is not speaking out on some important things that has to do with the country. And Sis Cora is saying that the president needs to stay away from going to, graduation and other things.
Public events.
Because she's concerned about him as a citizen and want him to focus on going to the office and attend to the things that are important to the Liberian people. So at this time, I'm going to go to Raymond and he can tell us what's on his mind.
Well, first, I'd like to say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night to Liberians all over the world. And we come here every night because what matters most is our country, our common patrimony. And I'd like to say, Shelly, you look beautiful in your green military green blouse or sweater, whatever
Only
it is.
because you're in green. Just because you're in green also.
That's because I want to place respect to where respect is due.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Our most recent past indicates that the Ghanaian men and women who take up arms put their lives on the line, sacrifice for the safety of the population, the nation, and the respect of the nation. I want to give a tribute to all men and women, past, present, and future, who have taken up arms in the name of the Republic, showing the highest form of patriotism to serve our country, to ensure peace for the population, especially the weak and vulnerable among us, who serve our country, especially my brother Afra Konowa on the show. I want to say my hat off to you. As you can see, it's a military fatigue.
No wonder why you pressing green. I see the whole thing now.
I want to respect your services to our nation. It's so important. There are sometimes
Josh, please put your phone on mute so we can hear our brother speak.
Sometimes people take for granted these services, but I want to let the Liberian people know the endurance it takes to leave your family and even go on training, boot camp. All that you go through, look, the military or the whatever armed force, like paramilitary that people take, to put their lives on the ground, on the line. And the sacrifices and dedication and commitment. That's what in America and other places.
How long do we have? Yeah, okay.
George, I will appreciate you don't disrupt me. I'm speaking.
Go ahead, Raymond.
I'm asking for the time. I'm asking for the time, Raymond.
I got it. Go ahead, Raymond.
Let's respect authority, and that's exactly what I'm speaking about.
Go ahead.
Respect.
Few more seconds. Let's go.
Okay, I got interrupted, and I'm trying to reset. Respect is everything, and let us respect those who earn respect. There are some of us, we are so feeble in our thoughts, and we can't even understand or comprehend where real patriotism lies. And I'm giving respect to every Ghanaian man, especially my brother, Afra Konowa here. I know what it takes to go through training, and I respect you. Thank you for your service to our nation. This is the highest form of patriotism I find, and I just want to recognize that. And every other person who's listening, who have served our country one way or the other, who put their life on the line for the protection of the ordinary people, especially the feeble one among us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Raymond. We want to say welcome, Brother Prince. Welcome to the show. I will start with Alfred. I know he said he wanted Nelson to be on, but if it's okay with you, I can have you go, or I can have Brother Prince go before you.
Nelson, stay in the back.
He can hear you.
Nelson, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I can hear
earlier
you.
on today, sent you my certificate So I thought it to let the Liberian people know
Fred.
that, you know, our presence here on this show is not to gain popularity. Our presence on this show is not to come here to show off. Our presence here is for our common patrimony, Liberia. So I say this to say that usually after the show, some of us go back to watch the show to see where, you know, whether we say something out of the way to be able to recognize it and come back. So yesterday I had a moment when we're discussing about the security breaches that occurred with the president, and having announced on the show that I am a former military person on the show. I felt insulted by my brother George and CEO Stanton when they described me as Jade and army man behind the house. In 2007, Liberia never had a standing army. We raised our hand because the Liberian people never trusted the army. We went to the army because we wanted to regain respect in the sub-region. And some of us that went to the military, we did not go there because we wanted to get all the money. We went there to build a career. And so we did. So I had an opportunity in 2011. My unit was elevated to a rapid response unit where I was privileged to learn different tactics when it comes to VIP protection in the military. We call it package. What happens in a scenario where you have an imminent danger, what to do, what tactic to adapt when a package is imminently in danger. Say, for example, ambush, what to do to neutralize the threat and all of that. So I come here on the show with some wealth of experience. I do not claim to know everything, but I come here with some wealth of experience when it comes to VIP protection, when it comes to urban operation, when it comes to crowd dispersal, what the police folk can do. So I had an experience to learn all of that when I was in the military in my 8 years. So for someone to come on the show to call me a behind the horse soldier was insulting. For someone to be on the show to tell me that I'm a Jade, that was insulting. So that's why I told my brother Nelson that I wanted him to play or to show the Liberian people my certificate that I am a bona fide former member of the Armed Forces of Liberia. And when we come here to discuss security matters, we don't claim to know everything, but our experience, our work experience matters. So I just want to register that. Thank you for your thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alfred. I want to, before Nelson come on, I want to be the first to say we, apologize on behalf of all of us at the Midnight Show, and we respect the fact that you serve our country. We don't want to take that for granted. So, but Nelson, you can take over now.
Just before
thank you.
Nelson come in, Shirley, how can you apologize for someone who didn't do wrong? Are you trying to share blame?
Thank you, Shirley.
That's what I said. I said on behalf
of guys,
you said all of us, but those who don't have
guys,
blame.
We will have to make progress. First of all, let me say to our brother Alfred, we always have this icebreaker, this moment where we, will share fun on the show. Yes, it's a very serious business that will come up here to do. At the same time, you don't want to overwhelm yourself with being too serious. And so we have this moment where we joke. A lot of time I would tell Moba about how he starts the show with eating. I was just doing scene with Raymond, and sometimes you spoke of a book, and then we all tease Moba on it. So it was just one of those moments, Alfred, that you were caught in. Everyone on this set is aware, and I have over and over and again acknowledged that you serve this country. We don't take that for granted, and we appreciate your service to our country, Alfred. So, sorry about the incident if you feel offended, but it was just one of those moments where we get to share from Alfred. It wasn't anything serious. No one, I mean, we've built a bond on this show. No one will come up here and disrespect Alfred and try to put Alfred down, especially based on considering your contribution and someone calls. No, that was just in the moment. I mean, there was nothing serious about that. And so Alfred, I hope you don't take offense in that. And I remember vividly the situation. One thing led to another, and I think when the CEO came on, and then we had Officer Hans Johnson on set, and he said, Officer Hans Johnson, he said this issue is a very serious issue. Security matter is a good thing that we have. We have Officer Hans Johnson on the show, right? He said that we have Officer Hans Johnson on the show. He's a security personnel, and then someone said, okay, Alfred also. I think I said Alfred also. Then George jokingly said, no, man, Alfred that I bring security, Then he said, oh, that Jade security, it was just a fun, Alfred. No, I don't want you to take that, serious, and to the point where you will even send certificate and all of that. Alfred, you don't have to validate anything. You are who you are, and you can control, what anybody thinks about you. I just want you to know that you can control that. As much as you
So
can
Nelson,
control it, don't. No, I'm coming, George. As much as you can control it, don't let it pull you down. I mean, you don't have to validate anything. Everyone who knows Alfred knows that you serve this country, and that is there. So, again, you are a brother, and of course, if you feel offended about the incident, sorry, and I want us to move on with the show tonight.
so Nelson, can I say something? Because I was directly implicated in this thing. Can I say something quickly?
Okay, go ahead.
Look, Alfred, my man, you are a brother. You are not a friend anymore. You are a brother. Everything we do here, most of the things we do here is joke mixed with issues. Nothing personal. You are reverend. I saw your picture a long time. You sent it in there when you got to training. You were dirty, sitting down in the chair, and you explain the story behind that chair. Everything most of the things that we say here, they are just mixed with joke. Don't take it personal, my man. There's no way I would denigrate what you've done for the country. I can never go close to what you did because in my life, the only thing I felt that are gone. So people who hold it, I felt of them and I get regard for them. So everything was just a joke, man. Sorry if you felt bad.
Okay, Mr. Bay, you want to come in quick and just make your point? What's on your mind quickly, and then we move on.
Let me say good afternoon to all of you guys, and then good morning to you, Nelson, on my end.
Okay.
I mean, what's on my mind? I know you guys already said it about Alfred.
Sorry, I almost called you Officer Johnson. But what's happening to your location? There's this echo or feedback or something coming from where you are. You went in the basement to join the show? Are you joining us from the basement, sir?
Yes, I'm joining you guys from the basement. I'm about to go to my office within the next 5 minutes.
Okay, so when you get to your office and everything, you can join us. You can join us. Hi about that. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. The audio quality is just not good for us. Again, so we're here tonight.
Now, I still haven't talked yet on what's on my mind.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, but then go ahead, do that quickly.
Okay, what's on my mind is just how impressed I was today, just hearing the elected official going through the confirmation hearing. And I was very much impressed to know how much they know the subject matter, how composed they were answering the questions, and just knowing that Liberia is in good hand and looking forward to a better Liberia.
Yes, thanks a lot. Thank you very much. And we appreciate that as well. Yeah, so confirmation actually started. The first batch of nominees are gradually going through the confirmation hearing. And today there were a few hearings that went on. I think we brought some of the videos. Some of you watched those hearings, listening to the Education Minister designate, the LRA Commissioner General designate, and also the um, the Finance Minister designate. Those individuals have been nominated, and of course, it is the confirmation hearing that's going to determine as to whether they will actually occupy those positions, or they go find something else to do, and another appointment is made. But this is the serious issue. There is this concern, and not George is not the first person I've heard talk about this. I've heard a lot of people raise those concerns about the number of individuals who have been nominated so far, the pace at which the nomination is going. You take, for example, we have 13 ministers that have been nominated so far. All right. Those 13. Sorry, guys. At the end of the day, Liberians have this expectation, and it's almost the same discussion we had some time ago when we spoke of expectation versus the reality of what Liberians should expect, and the whole discussion about managing expectation and everything came into the picture. Now, there are some who think that the pace at which the nominations are going is slow. Is slow. Well, for them, they think by this time, nominations or appointment for the cabinet should be completed. Confirmation hearings for all those nominees should be at the concluding stage. And actual work should start, because what's happening now is that those different ministries and agencies where the ministers and directors and all of those people are yet to be nominated, the people who served on a previous administration are the ones still managing the affairs of those places. In some cases, you have the officers in charge. All right, the officer in charge, they are there, they are taking charge, they are handling things, but it's not compared to having the actual minister or whoever that's supposed to be in that position. Talking about the decisions they'll make, the productivity rate and all of that, you will not see that with an officer in charge. So that's one side of the argument. So there are some who think that the nomination is going at a snail pace. Well, others, on the other hand, think that this is not about a hurry thing. It's about looking around and identifying people who can do the job. Individuals who have the requisite credentials, experiences, and everything that can do the job. So, in such a situation, it's going to take up time. Of course, you will have to be very careful in the selection process. There will have to be this vetting. Everything is a whole process all by itself. Now, I want to know, just to kickstart the conversation as we move on to other important issues we have to talk about, where do you guys stand on this whole debate about the pace at which the nominations or appointments are moving? Let's start with you, Alfred.
Yes, I will acknowledge the Liberian people are impatient, but what I want to say to them is that there are procedures that are to be followed constitutionally. So we have to follow it, and we just have to bear patient. Rome was not built in one day.
Okay.
It will take time. And the only thing we are praying for every day, that's why we come here, that the real people, those that love Liberia, that Joe Boakai, President Boakai is appointing, that they will do for Liberia. That's our hope. And we pray that those who are being, quizzed on Capitol Hill will be saying the truth to the Liberian people. And once they are given an opportunity to serve, they will go in there and serve and serve diligently.
Wow. So now again, where do you stand with this whole debate? Do you agree that based on the back and forth, the whole voting process, there's not much of a problem with where we are with respect to the nomination process, the number of people who have been nominated so far, and so on?
Well, again, Nelson, you got to take into account the fact that this is a constitutional process. The president can just nominate you, then you go and start working. You have to go down there with your TOR, and some of the TOR has to come from the legislature. Those guys have to quiz you as to your vision, whether or not it aligns with the national agenda, whether or not it aligns with the president's vision. So you have to go up there for the photo quiz because they are our direct representation. So we have to follow this constitutional process and allow the process to play out, so that sooner or later we can get everything in place and we begin to hold these guys accountable for every step of the way.
Okay, let's hear from you quickly, Raymond, on this.
So yeah, Nelson, I can understand the Liberian people anxiety to get things fixed, but because over the past 6 years, everything went bad. But you see, fixing the process, fixing the thing is a process, and it takes some understanding with clarity. And the first thing I want our listeners to understand is that this rescue mission is an alliance that consists of more than the Unity Party. So when you bring in several heads to agree on any issue, the discussion takes a while because every person must be heard. And after people
do you really think this delay is worth it? You think so?
Oh, yes. Definitely worth it. You know, our Liberian people say quick, bust trousers. A quick fix usually is not a permanent one. And whoever gets nominated to any position is not there for a month. It's not an interim minister in that place for a while. So vetting must be done. We must try to recruit our best minds. So better late.
Raymond, I know you want to say better late than never, but there are some who are making the calculation this way, that in the face of the tough electoral process that we witness, at the end of November, Liberians knew exactly who the next president of the country was or is. The president knew that, yes, I am the next president of Liberia. And so those on the other side of the debate are saying that, why didn't maybe the president or the vetting team start to vet individuals to serve in those different capacities from as far back as November, even before getting here? Why should we still be waiting after inauguration? And in fact, inauguration has passed, and we've gone pretty close to a week, and we're still moving on, and confirmation hearing have just started.
So Nelson, tell all those people that Rome wasn't built overnight. It took a process. And this is what I want to explain to everyone listening. The rescue mission is an alliance that constitutes multiple political parties.
Yeah.
So in order to get the best among these parties to serve, there has to be a vetting of a number of persons. And in order to get it done right, it takes a while. The very first process might be, okay, this is how we're going to form the process. Meeting of the minds, and they agree on an agenda proceeding. And then they say, okay, nominate names. And those names that come, you don't know how many of them. And among those names, they have to shortlist them. And after shortlist them, they have to vet maybe of the last 3. And before they present it to the president, who must review and approve. So it's better to go gradual and get it right than to go fast, as the Liberian Palace says, hurry, bust trousers. And this is as old as time. It has deep wisdom. It's better to go slow and get it right than to go rapid and get it wrong. And so, as much as I want it fast, but I understand that it's wisdom to go slow and get it right.
Thank you.
With that, I support it.
Okay, thank you. Let's hear from you, Josh, quickly on this one.
Nelson, this is the height or the zenith of incompetence. Because when this election was going on,
Come on.
President Boakai knew full well. Let me finish, Nelson. George Weah was incompetent. People said it to him. If somebody does anything that's incompetent, we got to say it to them. It should not be denigrating or anything, because it was said to other presidents. It will be said to this president as well, Nelson. Let's just be realistic. So let me go ahead. Don't heckle me, please.
No.
The thing is
I want you to go ahead. But I know where you're coming from. So you are on this side of the debate that thinks that the nomination should not be delayed.
Nelson, here's the thing. President Boakai, then former Vice President Boakai, he told us, he said he would get the government running on day one. He's experienced. He's been in the field for a long time. He's experienced. He knew even before the elections that he had alliances. He knew that. He won the election in November of last year. He won the elections, still having the same people in place. The alliances from NDR or whatever DR, they were there. He knew all about that. Now, fast forward, almost 2 months later, he's saying he got to do this, do that, do this. Somebody who told us from the beginning that he was experienced, that he was sophisticated, that they were the sophisticated people, that they would get the country running, they would hit their foot running on day one. These are the people that are reneging their own obligation. They are saying, we got to vet. How long does vetting take? You did not have a team. So you did not have a team. All the noise you were making for this job, you are fighting George Weah to take the seat. You fought him for 6 years. Now they give it to you. George Weah go on the plane and wave bye-bye.
How long do you think this vetting should take?
Look, people say President Weah was incompetent, but at this time, during President Weah's time, before he gave his State of the Nation address, he had 75% of his cabinet confirmed already. And I know people will say other things, but that was getting the government running from day one.
Go back to that place. At about the time he presented his showdown or the State of the Nation address and blah blah blah, he had gone about 75%. But that could fall in line with the hurry scenario. Don't you think because of that hurry approach, that's why the CDC government performed the way they did?
Nelson, there's no one here who can predict what's going to happen to this government. Nobody can predict. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, people say she failed. Other people have the impression that she failed. Other people say she did nothing. Other people say she stole the country money. People will have their own opinion. The facts are what we are talking about. The fact of the matter is that President Weah managed to move his cabinet to the Senate, 75% of them to the Senate. Listen, President Weah can nominate, and the people that can confirm are the people representatives in the House, which is the Senate. President Weah put his people to there. Whether you say the person competent or not competent, they went to Senate, they went through the procedure, and they passed through it, and they were confirmed. That means they were competent, they were ready, and according to the people representation, that these people were ready to do the job. And these things happen. So I don't know what people are saying about what they are not saying. I think White guy is reneging on his duty as the president. He still does not have. Look, Nelson, Can you imagine? He said he signed a contract with Japan. Which one of his ministers? He doesn't have a minister that is confirmed. Which minister signed the deal with the Japanese government? See these things? People say these things, and when people say, they say, "Oh, you're not patriotic, you're not this and that." I'm talking about Liberia. I'm not talking about anybody. What I'm saying is that white guy needs to hit his feet on the ground going, not to go to party or go to graduation and get fake degrees. That's not what we are talking about. What we are talking about is to get the government moving. That's what we
Thank
want.
you, Josh. Let me hold you
Thank
there,
you.
but that's not a fake degree. Honorary degrees are not fake, you know. So
It's still fake, Nelson.
so let's hold it. So what will you say about everything that was given to President George Weah? But let's hold it at that.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like honorary
Okay.
degree. It's fake. You
Thank
don't
you.
work for it. It's only you don't work for it, you shouldn't get it.
Thank you. Let's hear you, Miss Cora.
Yeah, firstly, you made a statement. I will just quickly go to you, Josh. You say people do
Please
have their
make your statement and
opinion.
leave me alone.
People do have their opinion, and this is our opinion. I tend to say that in every given period, you should have a yardstick. I want to know which yardstick the people are using to compare the slow pace or the fast pace people are being vetted or going through the process of confirmation hearing. Do we have a particular process lay I say in 1 month time we should have all of our all of our cabinet ministers in office and running with the government? Do we have it? It's not anything that been set aside. It's not a documentation that put into place as a working tool that the moment the government get into power or the president is inaugurated, then after 3 days, all of his cabinet ministers should start working. No, you should work with ideas. You should look and set your foundation. He's setting his foundation. The more he runs, we will start making a lot of mistakes. There are people out there, a lot of people that was brought forth. You got to do the vetting process. You got to go through the human resource activity, how to get people into office. You can just go through it like that. You got to bring the people. You got to do not training, man. You got to do the interview. You got to interview those people that you're going to bring forth, and you got to base it on the availability. We have everything, but you cannot just take somebody and say, "Can start working." Without you going through the process, I don't think they are slow. I think they are doing the right thing.
Miss Cora, the argument that the folks on the other side are bringing to the table is the administration or the current government knew from since November that they have won election and they needed all those ministers to fill in those positions, those gaps, those openings were there, especially judging from the people who have been occupying those positions and what they wanted, the kind of blueprint, what they expected to have seen.
Yeah.
They knew, so why did they? And that's where the folks are coming from.
Yes, I will answer that, Nelson. If you remember, before the inauguration, Yoke Koluba came up and said that you people, you're not even in office yet. They have not even inaugurated you yet, and you start fighting for position.
Mm-hmm.
They started condemning because people started to bring forth needs where they replace people. And
so
the same Liberians started to.
What do you think is responsible for this quote unquote delay?
It's because of our thought. We want to see something happening so fast. You don't want to take time to see it happening. And people on the other side want to see the government fail. There are a lot of people with negative things. They are not thinking in the human resources process of putting people into office. They just want to see it going fast. It's not like that. You got to go through the human resource process. And this is a process.
Thank you.
It's not an event. It's not a single ministry. It's not like our human resource for Bomi County Health Team. It's not like that. This is the whole country you're going to run. So you got to go through the process of putting the right people into the right place. So I don't see it as a slow pace. I see it as a right process and the right timing.
But if you were to compare this to President George Weah's time, at about this time, with former President George Weah, he was in over more than 50%, up to 75% of his cabinet was already been named. And it was just about confirmation, hearing, and all of those different processes going on at about this time.
Yeah. Before he answer that, remember that before George Weah became president, those people, he ran the office and he did not win. And most of the people that were in cabinet, in the legislature, were sedition. Most of the people that were in the Senate were sedition. They were preparing themselves until he became president. So they did mind. There were a lot of supporters out there. All he wanted to get a friend's job, to make sure that you promoted me, you made me to be who I am. I don't care who you are, just come. Because you said muya before, yeah, I know you. You don't just go past the thing, let go. It was just quick because they were prepared. There was something they wanted to see happening.
There's something you're not getting here. I think there are two aspects of this. You still sticking on the first aspect.
I'm saying he had a 50%. He had a 50% because he had the people who he already wanted to just put there were going through the process.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I get it. I wasn't getting that aspect. Now.
Yeah. So they were prepared for that. He already had his seditions in the House of Representatives. He had the people in the Senate. They were ready for all of these things.
Are you saying that the CDC did not thoroughly vet?
No, they were not. They did not merit what they had. They never merit the job.
No, you had a lot, so many competent people working in the CDC government.
Competency when it comes to what was happening and honesty, there are two different things. You can be competent and you are not honest to doing the job. You with it.
Wilson Tapet, Mr. Samuel Twed.
Honesty. I know Wilson Tapet. I know everybody. Honesty. I'm talking about people that will become honest in the job.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cora. We're gonna come back to you, but after I saw your hand up, you want to make a quick point, then we move.
Yes. Nelson, you see the difference between the Joe Walker government and the CDC is this. In the CDC, the guys were paying money to run their confirmation hearing. They carry brown envelope on the Capitol Hill. Before you know, they go into the office. There were not proper vetting taking place. So you see the difference here. Here, nobody buying position. Here, nobody buying position. You have to come with your credential. We have to critique your credential before you take any government job. You got to tell us exactly. The president is making sure to know the intent of these individuals who he's putting into different offices so that they can align with his vision. Because sooner or later, some of us who support Joe Biden, we are just waiting for this cabinet to be set, and then we'll start watching each individual ministry to see whether or not they align with the arrest and what Joe Biden will be doing moving forward.
Let's move over to Shirley. Shirley, let's hear your take on this. Then we move on. Where do you stand?
Well, Nelson, let's move politics out of this. Let me put on my human resources hat for a little bit, okay? To get best talent, you need time, and there has to be a process that you put in place. So, for example, if you are applying for the high-level job here in the United States, like a director or executive job, you go through multiple interviews. So the process takes long. And once you go through the interview process and they select you, you have to give references that people then have to check to make sure that, okay, you passed the interview. Let's call the places that you used to work and see if indeed someone there can say something good about you. So you have to go through a process. So yeah, I know people that are in a rush and want the president to have all his people in place from day one. This is someone who have 100 days to deliver himself. He said that. So don't you think he have that in mind, but also want to make sure that he is putting the right people at the right place? And I think from what happened today, it speaks volume that he's taking his time to make sure that he's not just placing people into position. He's making sure that he's getting the right people into those positions to be able to serve the Liberian people. So let's give him time. Let first understand what kind of process they have in place, whether it's 2, 3, 4 interviews that people have to go through before going to the president. These are positions that multiple people want to have. And if you listen to the director of education today, she said that it's an opportunity because there are a lot of people that want that position. So to be able to go through the selection process for you to be able to be selected, for the president to even put your name out and say, this is the person that I'm pleased with to be the police chief, the police director. So let the people go through the process that is in place. And I think we need to give him the opportunity to pick his people, not because someone else did it some other way that he have to follow. He have to do it his way. Because guess what? If his government fail, it's not going to come back to say, oh, because President George Weah had all his people then, 75% of his people before the inauguration. And so the president now have to have all his people before the inauguration. Let's give him time. And I don't think it's slow. I don't think the process is slow. I think he's taking his time to make sure that all these people are going through the different processes that they have to go through before getting it up to the Senate for the Senate to go through confirmation with them. I don't know what Nelson is, but
yeah, maybe we can look at it and talk among ourselves until he can come. Like what you said, it's not because John Brown did it, so the next person should do the same thing.
Right.
We should learn from experience. Mistakes people made before again Liberia where we are today, we shouldn't be making the same mistake. And there are a lot of good things happening, but people feel like they should do. I don't know that the idea, that thought is like heaven is just going to open right away for Liberia. They thought manna would just come from heaven and start putting it down. It's not going to work like that. We all need to get together collectively to ensure that Liberia becomes developed. So if we start pointing at this early stage, it's not a good thing. That's what I think.
Thank you, Miss.
Oh no, you wasn't there. That's why I was talking. Sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate you a lot. Now, but let's talk about this. Before now, we are aware that the president made a commitment. He spoke of the 100 days deliverables in the first 100 days of the Bwaka administration. No car would get stuck in the mud. And I think Raymond here, because of that commitment that the president made, Raymond consistently had all the bad roads in his background. Consistently, all the bad roads were in the background. And as an engineer, he was very passionate about that. A lot of people, so many people, take keen interest in that aspect when the president said not a single car will get stuck in the mud in the first 100 days. Now, taking a look at the way, appointments, those nominations are going on, the pace at which it's going, do you guys see the realization of this 100 days deliverables or the first 3 months, especially the aspect that has to do with road connectivity? Not a single car, according to the president, will get stuck in the mud in the first 100 days of his administration. Now, let's start with you, Raymond. Let's start with Raymond. Then we'll take.
He's well on course. No matter of fact, he has nominated a minister of public works, someone who has some understanding of public works, institutional knowledge, because he worked there. In fact, under the Ellen-led government, they were the ones George Weah seceded from. But before I go further, you do not use a bad example to set a good precedent. George Weah government was a failed government. They didn't amount to anything, so the Liberian people replaced them So we can't use George Weah rapid appointment to office as any good precedent for Boakai to emanate. As a matter of fact, we need to change everything that George Weah did, because what George Weah did was unacceptable. That's why we need to vet properly, get the best minds, and bring people from diverse background, not only people from the Unity Party. Boakai might know people from the Unity Party, but other people that have been sent to him, he doesn't know them. And we all campaign for a government of inclusion. So the government of inclusion takes a little bit. But talking about the Ministry of Public Works and the new minister who's been appointed, I believe that 100 days deliverable is on course.
So let me just say something quickly.
Okay, I'll let you
Nelson,
go,
I don't know.
Joy. Yes.
Yeah, look, President Boakai had 6 years to think about this. President Boakai had 6 good years when George Weah was in power, and
Yes.
everybody thought George Weah was doing no good to
President
Liberia.
Boakai
And
had 6. Okay, guys, go. Yeah, so I think
President
Raymond just
Boakai
said
had 6 years to think about this. He had all the time to himself to put a team together, and he promised us on day 1 he would hit his ground running. This does not look at it. And I don't care what you want to say. Adding the same thing. When Eden was inaugurated, the first week, the announcements came forth. So if you say Eden failed too, then let's go to other countries. Because that the analogy you want to use, George Weah failed. So let's go to other countries. Let's look at the trends. Every government, every even African presidents, the first week when they are inaugurated, that first week, 95% or 75% of their appointments are made. We are. And then you want to cover it all and say we want what kind of competent people are you looking for?
George, and the
Yeah.
question is, judging from all we see happening, the quote unquote snail pace at which the nominations are being made, do you see the realization of the 100 days deliverable?
It's not realistic anymore. Look, I know the public work public work minister designate, and we've been having a lot of discussions about this. I know he knows exactly what he's going to be doing. However, it needs logistics, it needs people on the ground, it needs revitalization of everything. It's a lot to be done. So I don't see the promise President Boakai made from the beginning that in the first 100 days, no car was going to get stuck in the mud. Probably because it will be dry season. Maybe that's why he thought about. But it's not because he's going to face roads. And it is a failure. It's a deception that he's done to the Liberian people, which is unfair. Liberia has just become an elephant meat. Anybody can just come and lie their way to power and get what they want to get and get out of there. And I think that's what Boakai is doing.
Okay. Alfred, you want to come in?
Yes. Let me borrow the word from my man Abdullah Mami to say that the argument George is pushing here is a sour argument. It's a sour argument. The engineers in our country know exactly the specific areas that have problem on our roads. They're not everywhere on the road that when you drive there, your car will stick. No. There are specific areas on those roads that need repair. The president did not say in his 100 days, he can pave the whole Liberia. He did not say that. He said in 100 days, no car will hit in the mud. That's what he said. So they know exactly those specific areas that can cause those problems that when we get to the rainy season, people can't remediate down there. So let us wait for the president and give him the benefit of the doubt. And then watch the process.
When last did he go to Maryland County?
It is not.
When last did he go to Maryland County?
Let's give our brother Alfred the time to conclude.
The whole road is messed up. The whole road is spoiled.
You say the whole of Maryland County road is spoiled?
From Zouadjou.
Do you know Maryland County road?
Okay, guys, let's do this. George, when was the last time you went
from there. I am from there.
No, I know
when was the last time
I am there. I got business running there. So that's why I'm telling you.
If you can get people going through Ivory Coast to go to Maryland and you think the road is good,
okay.
People going through Ivory Coast to go to Maryland, you think the road is good? And you're asking me what I know Maryland? That's where I was born. That's where I went to school. I went to St. Francis High School in Plebo. That's where I graduated from.
No,
So
why
you
we
can't
are
tell me
saying
about
to
that place.
you,
George, he said the whole road.
Guys,
what,
please,
George, George,
Alfred is the one who has the stage now.
George,
Alfred,
what we
go
are
ahead.
saying to
Alfred,
you
you
here
have
is,
1 minute to conclude.
thank you. What we
Do
are
you
saying
see
to
the
you here is
realization of the 100 days? That first
this
100
100-day deliverable,
especially the one that has to do with no car getting, not a single car getting stuck in the mud.
The nicest thing about this 100-day deliverable is that the people were very objective and said, this is where my focus is, and this is what will happen in the first 100 days. No car will use in the mud. There are specific areas on our major highways, on our major roads in the country that will have issues. And those are the areas that the public works minister will specifically focus when he is confirmed, to make sure that those areas are laid out so that no car will hit on the road. And the public is very clear about that. The Minister of Public Works knows exactly what the public wants. So once those things are put in place, it will happen. You just have to be patient. It can happen on there. So you don't say before he say on day one everything will be done in me, miracle will happen. We not look, manna is not coming down from heaven anymore. If you not work hard, manna will not get on your table. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's Raymond, you want to make a quick point?
I think my brother Afra spoke like an engineer because he has some understanding of how the work is done. Those locations are called critical sections. And so what they're going to do is they're going to do critical section repair. And that is attainable in 100 days.
Thank you. Thank you. Ms. Cora, let's hear you. Josh, we'll come to you.
Yeah, I will speak from the Maryland County side of the country. And in the road to Maryland is from Grand Gita, from Nima, Grand Gita, they got bar spots. Like what the engineers are saying, they got bar spots there you can face. From Grand Bassa River says, going to the Sando Inn, they got bar spots there that you can face. So the possibility, yes. And from Prebo to go to Grand Crew, they got bar spots there that you can face. So it's not the straight road from the whole of Maryland County that you cannot get through. People are bypassing the area from River G. People are bypassing the place.
To go back to this whole thing, Miss Cora, do you see the realization?
I see the possibility. Yes, I see the possibility because
in the first 3 months.
Yeah, now the president told you about getting involved with the Japanese, and he was saying that you don't have cabinet ministers or some document. There are many ways you can get people working in your country without even getting your ministers involved. So if he said to you that yes, I got some contract with the Japanese, it means that he's preparing or he's prepared. So we should not dispute it. That's possibility, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Shirley, you want to come in? Then we take Prince.
Well,
I'm still here.
Yeah, after Shirley, we'll give you 20 seconds and Prince come in. Yeah, Shirley, you want to go?
The 100 day is possible. I'm sure the president will not address the Liberian people and tell them that in 100 days, no car will stick in the mud if he doesn't have a plan. I'm sure there are plans in place, and we just have to wait for him to implement the plan. And if the 100 day come and pass and nothing happened, then you can ask that question, and we can come here and try to speak on behalf of the Liberian people. For now, we will wait and let the 100 day come and see what the plan the president have in place and have that plan be implemented.
Okay, thank you, Shirley. Yes, so George, you take 20 seconds, and
so Nelson, we come to this debate with experience, and I'm not going to blow my own horn, but I know the procurement process for fixing roads is a lengthy process just to mobilize the resources.
Okay, how about just opening the roads? You're not paving, just opening the road access.
Yeah, but Nelson, still you got to mobilize the resources. the yellow machine got to go there. Those yellow machine, they don't drive themselves. You got to make sure that the company that is doing it, that company can mobilize the people needed and the resources needed to go on that road, to go and do it. So you got to get everything set up before that thing can start. You don't just go and say, yellow machine, you go open the road. No, it doesn't happen that way. I know what resource mobilization looks like, and the procurement process on roads. I know what it is. So it's a lengthy process. So I don't see this thing being realized. And guess what? We'll come back here, and when President Bouakai comes back and say, "Oh, my people, we are sorry because this and that, we could not meet our target," blah blah blah. I don't want. I just want to look at the faces of our panelists here, because all of them think everything is going to be fine. No one has any reservation here except me, as if I'm the town crier here, or the doomsday sale. I am saying that looking at the realistic schedule of that road maintenance project that could not be completed in time, it will not be completed within 90 days because of the time that has been wasted. Do you know that now, without confirmation, the designated public works minister cannot go to the ministry to go and work? He cannot do that because he's not here employed. His employment will come when he's confirmed.
Thank you, Josh. Raymond, take 20 seconds quickly, then we'll move to praise.
Also, Sir Nelson, just for information, right? There's a Liberian contractor. The company name is called MDMC. He's called John Uboti, a staunch supporter of the CDC and a financier of George Weah when George Weah was in opposition. He just made some equipment available to the Ministry of Public Works. And there were a group of Liberian contractors that are committed to this process. And the thing George talking about, experience is the best teacher. We work at the Ministry of Public Works. We give out contracts, so we know the different type of contracts and how rapid you can be. You can even give out a pre-finance contract where the contractors got the equipment and they got some finances. They can even start work without you giving them a dime. There are many ways to give out contract and to start going.
Those contracts never work.
Look,
Liberia,
we've done it, so
you
we
know
how
that
it's done.
it doesn't work effectively. You know that.
Who's done it are two different things.
Information.
I've done it as well a lot of times.
Information. They got a lot of machines right now in Plibo.
It's pre-finance. It's pre-finance. Yeah, all the roads we do here is pre-finance.
Don't deceive the audience.
I got information, Raymond.
Man, come on, you see me saying Liberia?
Shelley, I got information. I got information. There's a company, a Chinese company in Meriden that paved the road from Fishtown.
Oh, we can only have one at a time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
I got information. There's a Chinese company that paved the road from Kalokin to Harper. All the missionaries, everything is in Plibo. They got a whole compound. They got a whole this there. There are people that graduated from the Tubman University, children that I know. They are working for the company. So the missions are there. So it's not something that they're going to order yellow missions around. It is there. It is there as I speak to you right now.
All right, thank you, Miss Cora. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, it sounds laughable that will be on the show here. Our brother George will be crying here when they told all that their president was a barrow medicine. Why will you come here and be crying now when your George was the best president? He was a barrow medicine, and you're talking about how the road is not being prepared.
When barrow medicine can face that sleeper will visit. When barrow medicine can face that sleeper will visit.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on.
Thank you.
Barrow medicine can face that sleeper will not face it. We say that we cry again.
Speak out your face.
Sleeper will not face it. I will tell you. Sleeper will not face it.
Okay. So Josh, let's have Prince to come in, please.
Okay.
Afra was saying something else. Afra, can you please land and then Prince can come in?
Yes. So what we are saying to you, brother, stop it too much hypocrisy. Because you told all that Joe was the best president for us. You told him was a barrow medicine. At the end of the day, he pushed our country back 50 years.
Thank you,
stop the hypocrisy. Stop this hypocrisy. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead, Prince.
Well, you see, in terms of the 100 days deliverable, first thing first, President Bouakai said he would make those roads platable for people, for cars to be able to move, not to stick. They brought up. Oh, you going, George? Why you left, my man? George want us to keep talking, to hear our own head, because he know the reality is just for Joseph Boakai government to be a failure. George is not a real typical Liberian. Don't have it. For real. For real. Because this brother, the first thing first, when I was driving coming home, and I hear you guys, he talking about, so we are already high, his minister already prepared. How many of George, we are cabinet minister came to government prepared? How many
So,
of them?
Prince, I have a question. What do you think about the fact that when the president started, he started with putting names out and then he stopped? Because it's been a few days now since we have any name came out. So what do you say about that?
Right. So,
The same way you not finish inaugural speech. The same way you pause
Josh,
We can't have Josh talking like that.
Sherry, it's not because you set your time clock at 8 o'clock to wake up that at the same time I'm gonna set my time clock 8 o'clock to wake up. No.
No, I wasn't comparing him with Josh. I'm just saying
What do I mean?
The last few days he had the names coming out back to back, right? But then he stopped.
Okay.
So
remember, you had the first round of election. It won. 2 person came out in the race. You had other political party that went into a dialogue with Unity Party. All right. I will not just jump up because I'm AGO and I say I want education minister, for example, and they give me education, and I get bring 2,000 people and say, job, these are 2,000 people that I need to employ them. We have vetting process. We have to go into the ranks and file. That's how citizens came into power. They know what have plans. So the judge came, oh, you appointed this way, you appointed this way. Mismatch.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much, bro.
I'm going to go that route. I don't know when Nelson said the other point on the other aisle, on the other side. Who are they? They're opposition. They will keep saying it. So we're not going to live for that. That one make that brother always backwards.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much. We're gonna stop you. We're gonna stop you there for now, and then I'm gonna turn it over to Nelson.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Shelley. Now we want to bring on an engineer. We're about to zero in on this topic now. We're about to make the transition, but with respect to this 100 days deliverable in the space of 3 months, opening all of our roads, the possibility, especially with what's going on, the back and forth with the public works minister. I don't know how many of you saw the publication today in the front page Africa. There was a publication today. Let me just get it coming on here real quick. Let me see if I can get this coming on. There's a publication up today as well in the front page Africa. There's some back and forth going on there at the public works. But let's bring on Mr. Smith. Welcome to the show. You're live. We're going to bring you via audio because of some technical constraints we have. Mr. Smith, it's good to have you on the show, sir.
Good morning, Nelson, and thank you again for having me on your show this morning, and a sincere appreciation to you and your panelists for the work you do and stay on late hours. You have just been fortunate today to get me up because I'm still working as I have some presentation to do tomorrow on some UC project. So thank you again for reaching out to me to weigh into the issues that is facing our country.
Okay, so I want us to take off from here. This 100 days deliverable in the space of 90 days, or let's say 100 days or 3 months. From the engineering perspective, it's good we have Raymond here. George here is an engineer as well. But from the engineering perspective, is this anything realistic to have the major corridors of our country opened within 100 days. That no car, absolutely no car will get stuck in the mud within 100 days. Especially also considering that, considering the pace at which appointments and nominations are going on, and the Public Works Ministry is no exception. I mean, is this anything realistic? Let's hear from you, sir.
Thank you again, Nelson. Let me say this. The dry season is about 3.5 months.
Okay.
President was installed on January 22nd.
Yeah.
Between January 22nd and early June, you are over 90 days already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do the math. Will any car be stuck between that time? Because it's dry, the roads are dry. Will any car be stuck? There'll be no car stuck within that 90 days because the roads are dry.
Exactly.
So that's the first logic in it. And what the president can do, or what his public minister can do, is to actually start counting 90 days during the beginning, or maybe during the wet season. That would tell you that no cars will get stuck. But how do you do this? These 90 days we're talking about, there will be no cars stuck because you are in the dry. So the Minister of Public Works and his foot soldiers, we have to go out and earmark those places that are continuously bad. They are bad because of two reasons. One, the texture of the soil in that area has a lot of clay in it. So when clay mixed with water, it gets stupid and it gets bad. Those areas will be earmarked, well prepared, so that by the time you hit the rainy season, those will already be prepared to withstand the dry. One of the problems would be, the second thing would be the preparation of those areas, because some of those areas are covered with hard bush.
Mm-hmm.
And when they are covered with hard bush, it stops the sun from reaching the surface of those areas.
Yeah.
And gradually, it will create moisture under there, and moisture produces dew, and dew produces water. And when the water gets in contact with the soil, it gets muddy. So those areas, they're going to open them up, prepare them. And there are other simple phenomena that can be used, because I told friends of ours today in our engineering sector that you don't need $1 million to do that. You just need this phenomenon. And one of the phenomena that you can use is the tires. You see the tires that we use, there are a lot of used tires around. You clear those places nicely, line those tires up and fill them with stones before you put over the laterite, which is the soil you talk about. Compact them well. Now those things will serve as drains, and prepare the drains very well, so that the water cannot stay on the road. It will be drained directly into the gutters, and they will leave the road.
So
if you do that, you can keep the road viable throughout the.
So, Mr. Smith, what you're telling us is that the 100 days deliverable, no car will get stuck in the mud, is something that can be realized.
Yeah, it will be realized because we are in the dry, and his 90 days is in the dry.
Okay. Let's take away the dry. Let's take away the dry, because the context here is that within 100 days and moving on, no car should get stuck in the mud. So let's take away the dry. Forget about the dry. Let's assume that this is beginning during the rainy season. Is it possible that within 3 months or so,
Hello, is everybody there?
Nelson, your phone, your
Nelson is frozen.
So you need to get off and come back.
Yeah, I got a question for the guest, please, if you can.
But Nelson freezing already.
Yeah, Nelson is freezing. Mr. Smith, did
He's
you get
closing.
Nelson last question that you want to answer to?
No, Nelson's the one I'm calling him. So when Nelson is closing, he is gone as well.
Oh, got you.
No, guys, we're back. Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
sir.
Get them prepared. Get them prepared. It
Get
means that
those special areas prepared. Is that
prepared
okay?
and well equipped to be able to take away the water. One place that is always bad every year is somewhere in Nimani called Green. There's another place closer to Tapeta that's always bad. It's because those areas are always saturated with water. You either have a lot of peat material. Peat material is mud. It's very spongy. It takes a lot of water. Those are the areas you can work on during these 90 days. So if I were him, I would tell, we prepare ourselves for the rainy season during the 90 days with everything we have, using very simple but applicable phenomenon to get those places prepared.
Thank you.
Then you will go through the dry.
Thank you, sir.
I got a question.
Yeah, George, you want to come in with a quick question?
So, Mr. Smith, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you. Look, I'm intrigued. You talking about compassion, everything. I'm intrigued. I think you have a lot of experience in Liberia. I think you are an engineer in Liberia. Is it correct?
Yes, I work here.
All right, good. So can you tell me, because you're talking about compaction, because I think drainage and compaction are the most important ingredient for a better road, right? So what I want to ask is that, what is the maximum dry density percentage in compaction wise that you guys use in Liberia? MMD.
Yes, pick it up like that. I can tell you, say 95% compaction or 98% compaction. These are standards that you follow. Before you can agree that this soil compaction level is this, you must do your soil analysis. And you determine
I know that. I passed that already. That's why I just come to that, because we already know the type of soil we've got.
Yeah, you pick up the
who's laughing at that?
The moisture content.
No, I just asking because the person describing ourselves.
Content of that particular soil that you're going to use as backfill or maybe surface material before you can say. But most of the time, the compaction percentage, the ultimate can start from 90% up to maybe 98%. But
so which one do you guys often target?
We lost Mr. Smith. I'm gonna try to get him back on. But this is important. He just said that
it's important.
He just said that the 90 days deliverable is achievable if the government now starts to work. Okay, so we have him back on the line. Hello, are you there, sir?
So, so these soil, they are, but they also one thing also you must also think on, for these kind of conditions, you got additives too that you can add to those soil. That you can get, those compaction. But again, it's a planning process. You can do all of that preparation in the 90 days, and then keep going with it. So
Nelson, will we have one person asking all the questions, so we'll have it?
So let me ask my second question.
If that's a follow-up, because it's one question.
There's a follow-up.
Yes,
a follow-up. So, Mr. Smith, the reason I ask this question because we often see roads are easily damaging in Liberia. Because the last time when I was there, the SKD Boulevard, when you cross the bridge on it there, the place, the ground is already sinking. And from my analysis, there are so many repairs work done on that road since it was built, I think a few years ago. So I just wanted to know, that's why I'm actually after, because I even asked Raymond, he did not get me the answer that I wanted, to know which ratio you guys target when you're building the roads there, because you do the inspection on the roads, you know exactly what you want from the contractors and everything. So I just want to know the ratio, because you said 95%. I think 95% is very good. But I don't know which one. Is it what you target, or you just target from 90% or 80%? Or which one? Which one is the range that you actually use in Liberia? That's what I wanted to know.
That's why I was answering your question, because your question is abstract. But the fundamental thing we do in engineering is that if you're doing a particular corridor, you collect soil samples and perform gradation on it, which is the particle size. You perform moisture content, on it, which of course got a relationship with compaction, because you can't compact the soil when it's merged. So you would get that curve from your analysis that would tell you, say, the maximum computer density is this, and you must compact at 95%, or you must compact at 90%. So it's a function of the soil that you have.
Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Mr.
Well,
Smith.
thank you for that answer.
Guys, I don't think we have too many questions here, man, because we have to make the transition. Unless, Shirley doesn't have a question, Miss Kura doesn't have a question, Alfred doesn't have a question, Prince doesn't have a question, and Raymond doesn't have
a question though.
I got a question.
If something.
Okay, Raymond, you have a question. Okay, just go ahead quickly, sir.
But why should an engineer ask questions? You should be helping me to answer the question.
But
that's the point.
It's so good that you answer the question.
Ask this question, really.
Question for my brother George. So,
but George is an engineer too, Mr. Smith. So we gotta be fair.
No,
Mr. Smith, so George already asked questions. So,
in fact, he's one of those who gave me an opportunity, and I can talk about my career path development because of people like Minister Smith who gave me the first chance. But Minister Smith, my question to you is a simple one. Do you believe the contractors we have in Liberia, based on your experience, have the capacity to work with the Minister of Public Works doing contracts to keep our roads pliable during the rainy season?
Yeah, we can do that because within the road fund, there is a line there for maintenance. And if the Minister of Public Works, who serves as chairperson on the board for the road fund, can adequately develop his maintenance plan, we have adequate fundamental things that are in place that can finance the maintenance period. And once we can do that, we will keep our roads pliable. And don't forget now, within the Ministry of Public Works, there is a department for planning that's supposed to do, infantry on the road condition, survey. Every year they should do that to make sure that we are coming up for maintenance. So yes, once it is funded, it can be done, and it is easy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. But I just want to
something to say, Nelson.
Yeah, Nelson. Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
I go to good morning from your end.
Yeah. Good morning.
No, from your end, you should. How will you saying good morning from your end? You're not as in. Anyway, go ahead, sir.
All
go
right.
ahead.
Mr. Smith, what I want to ask you is that in Liberia, the soil of Liberia, do Liberia have a wetland or a swamp?
The landscape of Liberia varies from county to county.
Okay.
So it's not one set. If you come in Monserrato, you will see some places that are wet. They are very close to the swamp. You see some places that are dry, that has laterite. And if you go to Nimba, where we have one of the major corridors, it changes at time, from place to place. Between Ganta and Tapeta, you have a mix of soil, especially where you have the very large rivers. So those areas, when you approach them, you have swamp. Away from them, you will have, storm. So basically, it's a mix.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Smith, I just want to throw a quick one in this final one. There is this publication we saw today. This here surfaced on the front page, Africa Today, and it says unqualified for public works. Unqualified for public works. For public works, yeah, that's a question. That's a headline on the front page, Africa, and then if you go into that article, they're citing some laws relating to the Ministry of Public Works, the criteria for one to serve as minister of the Ministry of Public Works, and all of that. Now, with your experience, you served as acting minister at the Ministry of Public Works before, and all of that. Is there any law is there any law that provides or set aside what the that someone needs to have an engineering degree, for example, before becoming Ministry of Public Works? Because this publication I see here, the photo of the Public Works Minister designate, that's the photo I see here. You want to speak to this quickly just before we let you go, sir?
Yeah, thank you again, Dulcie. I saw this article myself last night and I went through it. This law has been very quiet, and it tells you the duties of the Minister of Public Works, and it is listed in the Executive Law Title 12. I think it's in Chapter 27.
The Executive Law chapter. Okay, let me see if I can
Yeah.
have it. Okay, the Executive Law chapter title what?
Title 12.
Okay.
Go to Chapter 27.
Okay.
You will see the establishment of public works, and you will see the duties of the Minister of Public Works.
Okay.
And it is spelled out there clearly that these are the tasks that the minister will carry out.
Yeah.
And you cannot carry out these tasks without being in the field of engineering, having a degree or being trained as an engineer.
Justin, can I ask you a question, please?
Very quiet. I think Ellen violated it twice, or even thrice. And I think it was just good research on their part to find it out. You know, Knuckles was Minister of Public Works, but he was not an engineer. Kofi was Minister of Public Works, he too was not an engineer. Judy Moore was not an engineer. But I think the law is clear. And this is, there will be a test of our president, and, you know, following the rule of the law. If you believe in the rule of law, then I think this would be something that Mr. Gaines will have to face. But if he decides not to, it's left with him. But it's a law. It's in there. You can read it. You can see the functions of what the duties of what the public works minister should be. And I think Mr. Gaines doesn't have the capability to perform these tasks. And people might argue, say, it could be contracted out. But can you contract things out? And the law is clear that you'll be able to review what you contract out. It's clear. Okay. So I think it's at the door of the president and the senators to decide whether they will violate the law or they will stick to the law.
Wow.
Nelson, I got a question for him, please.
Okay, Josh, you had a question. You want to throw that quick one in?
Yeah, so Mr. Smith, just a quick one. I read through the article you're talking about, and I realized that I think this the description is generic, because in the public works we got public works deputy minister for technical services. They got all these positions there, and I think the minister proper is just the administrator who puts everything together to make sure that everything gels to work out, right? So it does not necessarily mean you must be an engineer. It's not even spelled out in that particular write-up that you must be an engineer. They said this is what you will do, this is what you will do, this is what you will do. But that does not mean that you must be an engineer. So it does not say explicitly that the public works minister must be an engineer. Is that correct?
It says it ain't ready. I would say he must be an engineer.
Thank you.
But it says the duties of the minister is this. But you cannot carry out these duties when you don't understand what you're carrying out. Because if you look at one of the law, let me just pick up one by incident. It said you should provide engineering and architectural services for all ministries or agencies of government. And if you go back down, it comes like in material administrative functions. So I would say that it's implicitly implied that you must have the experience, because you cannot talk good matter when you know about good.
Okay.
So it's there.
Look, thank you for answering my question, but I think it's not explicit, and that cannot be used against the designated minister. That's my opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, but it's the law. It's the law. If the one say, if the president's deem it necessary that he wants to go ahead with it, it's his prerogative. If the legislature decide to go ahead with it, it's the prerogative, but it would be in a violation of the law.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. We appreciate you for showing up here tonight, for picking up our call at this time of the night or morning, to speak with us. We appreciate you, sir. Thanks a whole lot. Anything you want to say in
Thank you
closing?
very much for coming.
Yeah. Thank you very much again. This is our country, and we are all tied towards making this country good. We try to work with the government, anybody who is at the Ministry of Public Works, to make sure that the infrastructure agenda of Liberia is realized. We are available as a citizen, and that's what we can say. We don't have to work in government before we make our contribution. We continue to do this, and that should be the responsibility, the civil responsibility of all of us. So thank you again, Nelson, for asking me to wheel in.
Yeah.
This is how I feel about these things. It is my opinion. It is what I know as an engineer, what can be done to correct some of these, and it's a matter of citizen civil responsibility. So thank you again, and thank you all for the night.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Okay, so now I think he said it. He said it all, and he weighed in his thoughts on this thing. But I want us to end up on this note. Then we'll go to the lines. So many people watched this video from Senator Prince Johnson. A lot of people had mixed feeling about it. So many people thought that it wasn't a good one. But I want us to take a look at this video.
Those who wrote the speech, I was also on the Bishop of Sundown. In never recently, everybody happy. We are rejoicing over the defeat of the old regime. We are rejoicing about the effort to bring a new regime. Then we're sitting down with happiness. You go write paper for that 79-year-old man. He's struggling to read. Then you go there, I will tell United Nations, I will tell US, I will bring 1 gram for you. Because you think 1 gram for Prince Johnson? And by the time the old man was reading, when he got to the page.
Now, there's a fun aspect to this, but there's something very, very important, very serious I want us to capture from this. Senator Prince Johnson's presentation clearly projects that he took offense in the portion of the president's inaugural speech that addressed the issue of War Crimes Court. If you go back a little, Senator Dillon made the not Senator Dillon, but Senator Johnson made this famous comment of how he was going to turn Senator Dillon's table upside down. He will turn Senator Dillon's table if Senator Dillon keeps talking about this issue of War and Economic Crimes Court. And you can go on and on naming different instances and so forth. Well, the senator and the both senators went back and forth, and Senator Dillon had his own thing to tell him, and then they went back and forth. The rest is history. But it brings us to this question. Liberia and all of these discussions that are going on has its root in the over 1 decade of civil unrest we had in this country that claimed over 250,000 lives. At this point, Liberians are divided on this issue about whether or not there should be an establishment of a war and economic crimes court in our country. Well, the previous administration campaigned on this issue of war and economic crimes court, some elements within the previous government. When it came, they didn't get to establish it. Liberians were eager under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf after the TRC and all of that, the TRC recommendation and everything. But Liberians did not get to see the establishment of a war and economic crimes court under the 12 years of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Another 6 years under President George Weah. Well, we've started we've begun another. We've begun a 6 years joining on President Joseph Yuma Boakai, and at the very start of the joining, he mentioned the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court. Folks, Senator Prince Johnson took offense in this. That's just one aspect of it. But at this point, do we need War Crimes Court, or do we need to embark on a reconciliatory joining that would unify our country?
Please start from me. I'm at the bottom.
Liberia saw you're about to go backstage. Liberia saw 250,000 lives. Now, I was watching a documentary, and then maybe I'm going to share that at some point in time on the show some other day. Aside from just saying it, just talking about those 13 officials of government, I watched that documentary where 13 officials of government were put on the kill, shot. For what? Corruption. Some of them, their family members were there, people who knew them, they were watching, and today it's still on video. They were shot, killed on the post for corruption. And we're talking about economic crimes that's attached to this whole War Crimes Code thing. At this point, and maybe we can take 1 minute, 30 seconds on this issue. Do we need War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia after 20 years, over 20 years of peace, uninterrupted? The guns were silenced in 2003. Today is 2024, 21 years of peace. Do we as a country still need the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court? Let's start this conversation with Alfred, and then we're going to make the rounds. We're not going to go in any specific order. Alfred, your 1 minute 30 seconds.
Thank you, Brother Nelson. Look, Brother Nelson, the culture of impunity must come to an end. Do you know the reason why after World War II there was a tribunal set up in Germany? You know the reason why? Because we had the war had to punish people that willfully hated Jewish people and decided to kill everybody, so that the next generation of people that will come, there will be precedent, that they will see precedent and say, oh, this thing happened here, and those who were responsible for it, they were accountable for it. We need to do that in our country. Do you know why today Rwanda is the fastest growing economy in Central East Africa? You know the reason why? Because they set example. They set example. Those who are responsible.
Alfred, in the midst of everything you're talking about, some Liberians are saying, especially the likes of Senator Prince Johnson, that we've seen 20 years of uninterrupted peace. What more do we need to go back to? What more do we want to see? Why do we still need the establishment of this War Crimes Code thing in our country?
Those of us who are Christians, God said to us, if you confess your sin, He is faithful and just.
And they confess at the TRC.
Now, listen. Now, when you confess your sin, it doesn't mean that God will not punish you. He will punish you for what you did. That's why you say you will be faithful and what? Just.
Man, not connecting by you.
Now, the interpretation to that is because you did something, God will forgive you, then you go do it again. No, that's what we are saying here. What we are saying to you, Nelson, Liberia has suffered too long. The culture of impunity has stifled the development of this country.
So you think,
as a result, for me personally, I recommend the War and Economic Crimes Code to come to Liberia, because you know what? My childhood was taken away from me. The war affected me. My family never survived it. Our home was burned down. We never survived it. Some of my family members were killed as a result of that. Most of us here have family members that got missing, that got lost, and we never see them again. My uncle got missing, saying he got missing, we never saw him again. You understand? So this issue of culture of impunity that have dragged our country needs to come to an end.
Thank you.
War and Economic Crime Code must be established, and those who bear the greater responsibility must pay the full weight of the law. Thank you.
Thank you. Shirley? You are muted.
Okay. I actually like the way how Brother Alfred kind of bring the Bible into this. I think war crime court is too late for it now. It's not necessary. Liberia is already divided. I think it's time now that we all put our differences aside and work together as Liberian. And I like how he said, if you commit a sin and you go to God and ask for forgiveness, there are so many times that all of us here commit sins and ask for forgiveness. If God was in the position of punishing every one of us based on our sin, even though we ask Him to forgive us, I don't think any of us will be here today. So if you are speaking from that perspective, then I think you will agree that war crime court is not necessary at this time. Let's work together as Liberian. Let's put our differences aside. There are a lot of us that got hurt, that have somebody loved one died from us during the war. But if we go back to that and try to put war crime court in place, we are bringing back half feeling. And I don't think it's going to be good for Liberia and the peace that we've been maintaining for the past years.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Shirley. Let's hear from Josh.
No, thank you. And I like the way my fellow panelists here brought the Bible in. I will just go straight to the Bible as well. Look, in the book of Genesis, when Adam and Eve committed that sin.
Genesis what?
I may forget about that thing, man.
Genesis 134
when
chapter.
Adam and Eve committed that sin, that forbidden sin.
Nelson, we gotta give credit to Maggie. Yeah, Josh, yeah, go ahead, boy. I just need to point that out. Go ahead.
So the thing is that when Adam and Eve committed the sin, they said they were sorry, but God did not forgive them, or He did not forgo the punishment. He said, "You woman, you will bear pain before you gave birth to children, and for you men, you will sweat before you get your daily bread." Those were the consequences of their action. There should be no way in our society where people will commit heinous crimes, and because we want peace, we want tranquility, and we say we forgive you, go. Guess what? Other people do the same, and they will expect us to forgive them again. We are not going to be a society in which impunity is going to reign. No, we are not going to do that. It is time. There's no limitation on murder. These people that committed heinous crime in our nation must face the full weight of their crime they committed. We are not going to get away with this. No way. That's why the next thing I want to say is that every time people say war crime court, Prince Johnson think that his new name. It is not his name. Prince Johnson needs to forget about being the face of war crime. The crime that people committed, he's not the only one who committed crimes in Liberia. That is for everyone to face. People in the legislature as well. George Boley, all these people, they must face the weight. He should not be terrorizing people because they call war crime code name. That's not his name. His name is Prince Udube Johnson.
There are different sides to this debate. There are others who think that many of the perpetrators are normal. All right? And the other thing is, some people have let go. Some of the perpetrators who are alive have transformed. They're regretting their actions. They are better persons in society, and they're giving back to society. That if we just continue on this path of war crimes court, prosecute them in the process, we might just mess the whole piece up. I mean, 20 years of uninterrupted peace might just go wrong somewhere along the way.
Nelson, look, and that's what the CDC lost, right? Because our government took hard decisions, things like harmonization. Those were hard decisions that when you take, it hurt people's feelings because somebody who are taking $500 home, they are taking $300 home. They are not happy. But this is the decision that we made so that the country could move forward, so that we could get loan, we could get this, we could pay other bills. So guess what? This government has to take that same hard decision. It is easy. People like to take the easy route to do things. I think the best way to do it is that whoever committed crime, go and explain. People like Yeke Koluba, people, all these people, they are also people who we need to face the court. It's not Prince Johnson alone. Let him just keep quiet. We don't want to hear from Prince Johnson when it comes to this. Look, my uncle, but he was killed by, how they call them, LPC in our own town, Benwan, in Grand Cook County. They chop him to pieces.
He was deaf. He could not hear when they were calling, said, leave the road. The people grabbed him and cut him to pieces. So look, we are not here to think that war crime code is only for Prince Johnson. Prince Johnson should give us chance. We don't want to hear from him. What we want is the court should be established and people who committed crime, if you go there and you are exonerated, free, thank you, we go. But we want to see that process happen, because if it doesn't happen, other people will come from behind and want to do the same thing and expect us to forgive them too. We are not ready for that as a nation.
Thank you, George. Let's hear from you, Ms. Kura. Let's hear your take on
Yeah,
this.
thank you, Nancy. Honestly, if you hear my last name Doyen, my family was so we were affected strongly by the war. And because of that, when I see somebody coming towards me with a gun, it affects me so much. But over the past 20 years, how many days have you walked in the street of Monrovia to find somebody arresting another person, say, you killed my mother, so I'm going to kill you in the street? For the past 20 years, since the mobilized the children, took away arms, how many times, how often do we hear people talking about revenge? We had a TRC, we had a bagon, had different process. And people got healed. Some people here, we have the indelible prints who got a mark. But I don't think coming today at this time where we need development in our country, it's not, to me, it's not the best time to talk about war crime court. How many persons do we have? When you're talking about war crime court right now, everybody will look at Prince Johnson, George Bolle. How many persons do we have in Liberia that you can bring the roster and say these people are threat to the nation? So we need a war crime court so we can investigate them.
You are saying that as much as those perpetrators are no longer a threat to the peace of our country, we don't need the establishment of war crime.
Right now we don't. We went to
development.
You don't have to tell me no, Josh. You had your time. I didn't tell you no. You asked me a question. I see right now. Please let Joshua behave himself. He's not the only one that speak on this platform. Josh will respect you, respect other people's view. Okay?
No, Josh is not speaking to you.
Hey, what did I say to you? Calm down. I didn't say anything to you.
And
I put my finger up. What's your problem?
So
no, my problem is you interrupting me.
That's when I ask you questions.
I put my finger up. That's all.
You are interrupting me.
George, we have a free-flowing conversation or discussion.
Interrupted, and it's just fair that we give her time. So, Ms. Kura, again, I come back to you with this question. Your point, if I got you right, is that Liberia is on the right path. We've seen over 20 years of uninterrupted peace, and you think some of the perpetrators are no threat to the peace of our country. So, based on that, we don't need war crimes code.
We don't need it. It's like opening new wombs. It's like opening old wombs. I mean, like for me, the moment I started talking about war crime code, it started to bring fear. I started to feel the pain again. I fought it hard. My family fought a lot of things to get this thing over with. When we went to church, we hugged each other. You will not believe somebody that my father read, used gun, and killed him. But what they did, they killed this boy. It brought a serious confusion in family. And we finished this thing. Everything is over with. I think let the sleeping dog lie. Let Liberia think about development. I pray that we think about development. Because the Bible, that what it's saying, we should forgive 70 times 7. 70 times 7. We started with Bible, we're all going into it.
Okay, saying you started with the Bible thing, George, why your spiritual reference you quoted? George quoted the Bible.
My man, leave me alone.
I quoted spiritual reference.
So to conclude, I pray that we let it go. We let it go. Let Sierra Leone next to us there. Let the Cote d'Ivoire next to us there. How many of them speaking of war crime code? All they're speaking of is how can we develop our nation?
Thank you.
Bigger countries sending fighting another nation. America can send bomb. So in the Middle East, there are a lot of things being destabilized. Nobody talk about carrying court to them. What a little nation, less than 5 million people. What are we coming up to do? Can we just let this thing go and we move forward?
Ms. Kura, don't you think war crime code would be necessary to get rid of this culture of impunity?
What's the significance in having a war crime code? What are we going to receive at the end of the day? Sorry, put the person in jail. Can they change something? What new thing they will bring into Liberia? What development?
Wouldn't
Will
that
it
set
make the children to become educated?
Wouldn't that set a deterrence for those wanting to get involved into similar act that those people carry on during the dark days?
Those days, thank you, Nancy. Those days, and now we are in a digital war right now. There are a lot of things that are happening. You're not found what happened in the early 90s happening now. Even those people they put on the pole. The war they brought their human rights now. People will not just put people on the pole and kill them again. There were a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of laws that were put into place from the onset of the Genesis. And those things are getting away with. So what can we stop it? I was listening to the news the other day. They put somebody on the chimneys and they used gas to kill him. Human rights came up and they frowned at it, said, no, that was brutal. It's telling you that we are in a new era. So those things yesterday gone, let it go.
Thank you. Your mic has an extra volume, but that's okay. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Question. Can we talk to Raymond and Prince on this topic?
Put your finger up too. Put your finger up, please. I can put my finger on a while. That common thing.
So let's hear from Raymond and then Prince.
Just see your finger like that. It's okay.
So to all those who quoting Bible verses, I'm going to quote two Bible verses for you. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 18.
How would a Bible verse be? Somebody who can read a book of Genesis, for example.
The law loves righteousness and justice. The earth is full of his unfailing love. Justice is part of who he is. Our God, the characteristic of God, love, but justice. When God sent his son Jesus to die for us, that was justice. For he said the wages of sin is death. Every man pays for their sins before God. Even the mercy of God has justice in it. In Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 24, it said, I'm the Lord who practice steadfast laws, justice and righteousness in the earth. In these things I delight. God said he delights in justice. God declared to us that he loved justice. And because of impunity, the likes of George Weah could scaffold our country, and he's walking like he's a free man. Impunity. Will we argue too that people who rape and commit murder should walk away because they got family members that could be hurt, or there could be some other reprisals? I don't think that's justice for those who lost their family members. I could decide to forgive someone who do me wrong, but that doesn't give me the right to speak for another person who wrong has been done to and want justice. I believe everyone who committed war crimes should account for their crimes they committed. They committed it in sound mind, they abused powers, and we want justice for our country to move forward. We got to bring closure. People lost family members. Some people are grieving every time to see these people who raped them talking on national media, talking for their country. How can you be that evil and be speaking for my country? It hurts some people. Some people are having sleepless nights. Let's think about those people and not feel for those people who committed crime in their sound minds. For me,
some of the perpetrators have transformed. They are
transformation doesn't mean
you take for example, Senator Prince Johnson. He's a minister of the gospel now. He's a senator serving his country. He's preaching a winning soul to Christ. No, Josh, don't laugh. Don't laugh. I'm talking about this. Don't laugh. All right. Senator Prince Johnson is a minister of the gospel now. He's giving back. He has a college, a university. What is it called? Prince Johnson Polytechnic or something. And he's educating the children of Nimba County. Talk about former General Bodnicki. Now he's an evangelist. Blai. Joshua Blai. He's propagating the gospel. He's preaching this very Bible you're quoting today.
And so,
Raymond,
why don't
they like someone said, these people are no longer threat to the Liberian peace.
Nelson, to account for your wrongdoing doesn't mean you got to be continuing the crime. That's not what people are penalized for. People are penalized for the crime they committed. They don't say because you committed a crime 100 times, that's where you go to jail. One offense is enough. And these people that you're calling, the Bible they're preaching, where the Bible, I mean, it's from the Bible that I quoted these Bible verses where God said he delights in justice. So they should submit themselves to the will of God and not be preaching their own heresy, preaching their own message. But what God says, that's what should prevail. God said he delights in justice, and he's the God of justice. And the earth is full of his justice. That's what God wants. So we should tell them, for their crimes they committed, they should go and submit. That's the laws of the land. And if they are men of God, they will commit to the laws of the land.
Thank you. Thank you. John, someone said Jefferson Koji has Bible now. Is that true? Have you seen
Everyone has one.
Bible?
Everyone has one. But yeah, Nelson, look,
No.
I
haven't given you the time yet, Josh. I'll come to you. You're going to take 20 seconds in the next round of question quickly. But let's hear from Mr. Prince. Prince, I mean, where do you stand on this?
Nelson, you know, the first thing first is that when my namesake did that in church last Sunday, last Sunday, I saw that and I was wondering, why would he even do that? Why would he try to make mockery of the president? That's number two. You the senior senator for Nima County that's not right in the house and said, if the Liberian people want war crime economic code, let it bring it. I will go there and address the issue and address myself. So why now you complaining?
No, he's complaining because he feels targeted. He thinks that when people use this issue of war crimes code to get at him, to speak to him indirectly when they want to get at him. And that's why he said to Senator Delon he would turn his table around because
nothing. My brother Georgia said something and I sat with him. Prince Johnson, now your new war crime code. Period. That's number one. That's not your name. So why when they talk about war crime code, you get offended? Why? You're the only person that caused problem in Liberia or kill somebody in Liberia? No. The good side of you there and the bad side of you there. If it comes to that scenario. Now, why you, I mean, we coming on here to say, oh, because of the 20 years of peace, so because of bring war crime code, who won buying the bush? Nancy, let me ask you the question. You tell me you keep emphasizing, oh, you mean the 20 years of peace as war crime code appears in the country? It says it clear, war and economic crimes code. Do you know how many people have raped that country and they're walking with impunity, walking all around there, laughing, enjoying Liberian people money? So they should not account for it. You have that going power. He built for the condominium. So he walking around. They should not be all the time.
But President, we are equally preaching the gospel, despite being a former president.
All right.
What's up with you and the whole gospel thing? What's up with that?
See, my point, where I come from, no, guys, don't do this to me. Where I come from with this gospel thing.
For sure. I don't know why Nelson coming from with the whole thing, like gospel.
Let me tell you this, right? Nelson. Right now, in the world, the churches are already known to make money. That's number one. And we turn on this platform right now. Every morning we wake up in the community, we start that drum beating.
Amen.
Obviously,
let me tell you, I'm going on the other side.
No, I want to say something. Now, people are using church or churches to earn money. That's it.
Prince. Let's come back to
the president.
Anyway,
Joey, the former president.
You think President we are using the church for money? President we are is using the church to help people. You're not using that church for money.
So what kind of people?
The members. You know how many people can go. But anyway, that's a diversion from the topic. But, we need to open the lines. Yeah. So you support war crimes code, right?
My little brother says the war. I'm not lay on. We are not seeing. We are not at all.
That's a very okay. You need the establishment of war.
Every time my mom thinks that thing, she
do you sometimes sit and feel disappointed when you just retrospect on the fact that the UP government on President Sirleaf and the CDC under President George Weah did not establish or make any efforts towards this establishment of war crimes code. Do you sit down, retrospect on this, and sometimes feel disappointed?
Because they lie to the Liberian people.
Okay. Josh, do you sometimes
she lied to the people
on this and feel disappointed that your CDC under President Weah 6 years did not establish this war crimes code that you guys campaign on?
Definitely. I feel really disenchanted about that. I feel that it was a letdown by this government. And I think, the war crime code thing has become political, or political football, that when it's not in your favor, you figure it, you start kicking it around. Once it's in your favor, you take it, you put it under your arm and you go. I think that's how it has been, which is wrong.
It was a letdown. It was a betrayal.
It was a letdown. Yeah, it was a betrayal. Yeah. Anyway, the CDC did not
the
have.
way the CDC betrayed the struggle. You think the CDC should be given a chance 2029? The way your CDC betrayed the struggle?
Look, I will tell you, the CDC coming back in 2029 will be the best for Liberia because the CDC has learned a lot of lessons, right? And I think when they come back, they will be better. But what I wanted to say, and for my Bible scripture is Genesis 3:16. Guys, go and read it. Genesis 3:16. Genesis 3:16. That's where
you take all the
Genesis.
You put Genesis.
It's Genesis, my man. It's Genesis. Genesis 3:16. Guys, go and read it.
You will go to the line, but I can tell you, it will come back from the line. If you go to that Genesis 3:16, you will not see that thing that George talked about.
It will be there. Alfred, please search for us.
That main scripture is totally out of the Bible. Seriously.
Genesis 3:16, guys.
Anyway, let's go to the line and take a few calls as we try to wrap up. This is the Late Night Show. We're here live across the Spoon Network and across Liberia on radio and online. Let's take, I don't know, the lines are already hot. Let me put the WhatsApp number up. We're gonna have the second angle of this discussion tomorrow. There's an angle that we don't have the luxury of time to take it from as well. Hopefully we can exhaust that from the constitutional aspect. But let's take some calls on that. Sorry, no, this is not the WhatsApp number. That's not my WhatsApp.
You want to put question?
Yeah, that's not my WhatsApp. I want to put it the right one up. Wow, it's not coming through. Okay, so let me just try to. But you can call us up now on 0555 101075. 0555 101075, and you'll be live on the program tonight. So let's take our first call here. Hello, you live. Your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Nathan.
Yes, let's hear you. Your name and where you call from, man.
My name from New Jersey, Istanbul.
Tell us seconds, man. Let's hear you.
Yeah. According on behalf of the Georgia,
mm-hmm.
You know, I one of the strong moving last in New Jersey, Istanbul for President Bouaka. I've been trying to get you on the program. I can't get you. We already struggle for the past 6 years. E-drivers, data boy, other things.
Let's go to the point, Mama. I beg you.
Yeah, the point there is we already put our president there.
Mm-hmm.
We want me there. I will go to ERBC to give my grievances to President Bouaka. Offer President Bouaka to local people that will they work, that will make us to feel fine.
Okay.
Because we suffer.
Thank you.
Great.
Money down.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Let's take this person quick. 30 seconds, sir. You're live. Your name and where you call from?
Hey, Nelson. So, brother Tommy from Virginia again. Shout out to you and all of our wonderful panels. I will try to be very quick. Not only do we need war crimes court, it is necessary, and I'll get to the reason shortly. Mm-hmm. But I first want to address this whole idea that we live in a peaceful society. Nelson, the idea of peace is so complex, it's multifaceted. So just because there's an absence of war doesn't necessarily mean that we're living in peace. Peace has to do with social justice, safety and everything else. So we live in a little more peaceful society, but we don't live in complete peace. Now, let me give you a reason why. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Do you then support the establishment of war and economic crime?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'll give you a quick reason because I don't want to hold on the line. There was a thing about somebody mentioned that we don't need war crimes code, we need reconciliation. Well, war crimes code is an act of reconciliation.
Okay.
Because when you're pursuing justice through the transparent and fair legal system, it can contribute to all of us as Liberian having a national reconciliation. And then this last one before I go, I'm sorry. Nelson, you mentioned deterrence, but also accountability is so important. Senator Johnson have always said that, he needs an opportunity to justify why he committed some of those crimes.
Thank you.
War crimes code is the only way that he can do that in a fair justice system. Thanks for your time, my friend.
Thank you, sir. Let's take this person on the line. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you're calling from. You're live on the show.
Hello, Leslie.
Yes,
my
sir.
name is Dakeme Power.
Okay, let's hear you quickly, sir.
I just want to tell you, Leslie, we to the people of Liberia, we get too much power. When somebody will steal, the person not be government, they pull the person in there, they say the person are TV. When government officers steal, they say that embezzlement. In America, when somebody will do crime, it stay 20 years, 25 years, the people catch you, they will still put you in jail. So I just want my sister then to understand, all that thing they talk with the Holy Bible is not true. They call this thing, nobody will do anything. Let the people blame war crime and economy because all the Bible things that will go to our country, you see the small burden that were born right after the war. So inside the Holy Bible, the people that do Holy Bible business, it will tell you against something they call transformation with spirit. So the Bible thing the burden was
they get something they call what?
Transformation with spirit.
Traffic. No, I want to understand it good. They say it's a what?
Transformation. To say something. Transformation. Transfer something. So
transformation with spirit.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, the example would be
transparent.
Like the pastor in the church, it do bad thing. Then the people then cover the bad thing. Then the bad thing continue to count down to all the members then.
Transgression of the spirit.
We say now, the Baba thing that burden will do with the beer business, the people don't put any pressure beyond there. You know what happened on this? It made the small children to Labia, they just a violent business. They can just kick anybody to do anything because they not get the hot to put them. They don't carry anybody anymore. The small place they get what they call
that's very
the people not fit there.
That's very
you see. So just now, I want to ask my sister Kula over there. She myself what to me it will work to the hospital. You want to say all the burden I do about thing they put them to jail, they will free them because you don't want work like they will free them so they can be free too.
Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, sir. Let's read it.
That's what they call him now. What's his name?
That was brilliant.
I forgot the name. Hello, you're live.
That was the best quarter ever.
Yeah, go ahead quickly. Let's hear you.
My concern has been shown to the discussion.
Yeah, we know that what you call for, sir. Let's hear you. What's your take?
Yeah, I support the war in economic code because there are people who are giving government money and population they are going with impunity. You understand that? For the past government population, people are still holding fast to even government fund.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We take this one. Hello, you're live, sir. Your name and where you call from?
Hello, Nelson and the panelists.
Yes, sir. It's good to have you on.
Yeah, what's the question about supporting the war crime code?
Do we need it? Do we need it? Is it prudent for Liberia at this time? 20 years of uninterrupted peace. Do we still need war and economic crimes code in this country?
Well, I personally would say it is needed in a sense that every Liberian need to put that to rest. But in it all, God is the judge. He going to pay anybody that have done wrong to other people.
Okay.
But let's say
so we'll leave it with God, right? In short, we'll leave it with God.
Well, for because we are human beings, if you just say leave it with God, a lot of people don't want to agree with that.
Okay.
But even if you bring that to fruition, that people should go and testify, you find a lot of people that need to come to the scene to testify are no more around.
Thank you, sir.
So who are those that are going to say, hey, this guy did this to me, this guy did that to me?
Okay.
And what would be the proof? What would be the justification?
Thank you,
what
sir.
would justify the claim?
Thank you, sir.
So Liberia need to move on, and we leave it with God. Because
Thank
you see,
thank you, sir.
there is a big God.
Thank you, sir.
Nobody can fool God. If you kill people, you treat people wrong, you're gonna get paid.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there and squeeze in another person real quick because we are seriously out of time, and we want to just squeeze in the last two calls and then we go. Can you?
I just did.
Okay, sir. Please go ahead quickly, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Man, it's a good show today. To the people that are saying they don't want war, they think I don't even care what the war crime code at this point. It's the economic aspect of this code that's more important. And yeah, I'll point this few things Prince Johnson been saying. Here's what Prince Johnson issue is. My name is Desmond Phil. I'm calling from Australia.
Okay.
Prince Johnson always think when they say war crime code is about him. Here's why. All the other people that committed war crime, nobody got video of them doing it. Prince Johnson violated 3 Geneva rules. 1, he conscripted child soldier. He got it on video. He captured his soldiers. I was in the army for 12 years in the U.S. He captured his enemy and tortured him on video. That's war crime. So Prince Johnson issue with war crime is he on a crime documented. Only on a crime that people got to testify and say they say, right? I was there. Prince Johnson got documented committing war crime.
Thank you.
Conscripting child. I have one more point to make. He went the other on Sunday and said, "Oh, we have amnesty. Who decided amnesty? Warlords got together in Accra and created amnesty. Did the Liberian people decide that?
Thank you, sir.
The people that committed the crime created amnesty for themselves.
Thank you, sir. Let's hold you there. Let's hold you there and squeeze you another person here quick. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Yeah, good evening, Nelson. This is Alfred Davis. I'm calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Yes, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this war crime code that people are pushing for, if they bring war crime code in Liberia, the whole government will shut down.
Why do you think so?
A lot of the government officials that are holding positions now, senators or representatives, they were all involved in this war. They know it. They kill a whole lot of people. That's why they will suppress the war crime code, which is necessary. But if it does come, trust me, there will be chaos.
Thank
and
you,
I hope they don't continue with it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Let's hold you there and then squeeze in this call. Hello, you're live. Your name and where you call from?
Hey, this is Mr. Weir calling from Texas.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Hey, I'm not concerned about war crimes code or anything. I'm more concerned about the Liberia developments. Most of those guys sitting on the panel over there are living in America or somewhere in the world. They have some kind of background, educational background. So my question is, what is the Walker administration doing to incorporate those professional desk grab personnel like me to come home and help develop Liberia? And how soon is that going to be?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, that's a very great concern. We will now squeeze in this one here. Hello, quickly. Hello.
Morning.
Morning, you are sleeping? Please postpone any J's now.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this Mohammed Kumara calling from District 4 Kwalugoni, Lofa County.
From Lofa County, Mohammed, please go ahead, sir. Let's hear you. What do you think about the whole war crime code thing and the other issue we're talking about?
Yeah, the issue about war crime code business. Why is it every time they talk about war crime code business, Senator Prince Johnson always respond to it that although you know he want for war in this country, to come.
Okay.
The whole family was killed in this country. Now he won't.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I think we have to close up, guys. I want to say thanks. It's been a great show. I'm sorry, all of our lines are very, very busy. But again, there's a limit to what we can do here. Thanks to all of you. I sincerely appreciate the fact that you even tried. You tried to make a contribution. But we have to do our closing as soon as possible and be out. Josh, you want to start? Let's just go by the queue. Josh, Raymond, Francis, Alfred, Miss Cora, and then Shirley will take us.
My man Francis not here.
Francis,
yeah, so look, like I started, that's how I'm gonna end. We want action from President Boakai. He sat too long for 6 years waiting for this position. Now he's got it. We don't want to see him sitting around. We want to make sure that he's doing the Liberian people job and getting the government running. That's what we want. We don't expect anything less than that because that's the job he fought for to get. He's gotten it. He has to, he has to perform. There's no excuse. You either rescue or you recuse yourself. Oh, you recuse yourself. There's no way around that. You must do something. You either lead or get out of the way. And for the war crime code thing, look, it is about time. And I always say I was angry with my government for not establishing a war economic crime code. I think I'll be bold is because of Prince Johnson's influence that our government did not establish that. Prince Johnson, and guess what? Prince Johnson cannot continue to hold our country hostage. Prince Johnson cannot continue to hold our politics hostage. That when he not support you, you can win election in Liberia. We have to put an end to that by bringing that war crime code because without the war crime code, Prince Johnson will be the one that will dictate who become president in Liberia for the next 20 years to come. And we don't want that. And he committed crimes, he will face his time. Thank you.
Quickly, let's hear from you, Maggie. You're closing.
Nelson, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Hi, I've been calling because I didn't want to come on. You refuse to answer my call. It's not every day someone have the time to come on, and sometimes they want to sit back and just relax and enjoy the show and see Josh talking all over the place today. He presented the Bible. Congratulations, Josh. At least you're trying to get to entering the church now. That's good.
You read the scripture I quoted?
What
Genesis 3:16. Thank you, Shirley. Genesis 3:16.
You just left it like that. Is that how people quote scripture? When you come in with the scripture, come with the entire scripture, okay?
Let me read
the Bible.
Maggie, let me read it. Genesis 3:16 for George, please.
Raymond,
thank you. Go ahead, Mama.
You're doing your closing. You're gonna read it.
George, that's when God was punishing.
So, 19 forced me to come on today. 19 forced me to come on today. So, yeah, Anyway, Brother Josh, I'm sorry I'm going to call you up because nothing say I should come on. He actually sent me text message. He said, you want me to come to deal with you? And I got a text message. Do you want me to show you next thing?
Okay, display the message.
You are under the CEO.
I'm not going to show I'm from a society. I don't disclose when people talk. But he actually said I should come on and deal with
I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
He actually sent me text message. I can show you the number of missed call that I called him, but a text message
Don't
I
do
will
it,
keep it. He
Maggie, don't
actually
do it.
told
Don't show
me
the
to come
message.
and deal with Josh. You can't send me message and have behind a Nelson. So Josh, when we talk about nomination all over the world, you spoke about other countries having delay nomination and hearing process. Even in this great United States, when Joe Biden and did his nomination, it did not happen overnight. I think thank my sister Shirley for educating you on how people go about employing people to do better. Okay, so don't stop misleading the Liberian people. Anyway, the people have seen through you. They know who you are. They know sometimes you just come here to play fun. But the Liberian people, I mean, they're not here for fun. Okay, so at least give our people credit. And on the second, with the war and economic crime, could we talk during the election? I'm sorry to disappoint my rescue people, but we were on the same very platform telling the Liberian people, if you vote for Ambassador Breakout, he's going to bring the economic and war crime code. We should stick to that, encourage that, because we spoke about it. We cannot be the same as the past government and giving our people false hope. It's not time for false hope. And lastly, I want to wish my beautiful sister a happy birthday in Liberia. And Miss Lucintia B. Nepeche, a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Nelson, can you please, I sent you a picture of my sister. Can you please show my beautiful sister?
That's the reason why you came on.
No, that's not the reason why I came on. It's because you send me text message. You send me text message, and you say I should come and
She came to educate me. She came to educate me. She came to educate me.
Yes, that's
I'm
why
listening.
you send me private message. I'm sorry, Nancy, I put in the order. But that's true. You send me the message because you refused my call.
That's not true.
That's true.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
I can show the people the message call how many times, but I will not show your text message. Now you send me text message. You said to come on. Yeah, I hope you're happy now that I mean, what you told me to tell George, I just did it.
Wow.
George, he the one told me to tell you anyway.
Okay. Thank you, Mama. Thank you for coming. Call me after the show, please, so you can educate me more.
I'm not calling you.
So let me go ahead.
Yeah.
In Genesis 3:16, that was when God was punishing the lady Eve. And his punishment to the lady was, you will bear pain in concession.
Yeah.
And your heart will be after your husband, and he will rule over you.
Yeah.
And today, even if a woman is born again, she experiences the same thing, because God is a God of principles. He don't bend his principles for people.
So my quotation you using, eh?
I'm helping you with your quotation.
He's helping you now.
But what I said from the beginning, so you repeating it.
I'm helping you with your quotation, my brother. I'm supporting you.
So let's
enjoy. I'll give it to you. Enjoy.
Let's hold you there, Raymond. Thank you for your.
Raymond, just
why would you only allow me to speak for a second?
Okay, guys, let's do 30 seconds for you, Raymond.
No,
please.
Nelson, it's a minute, man.
Let's we have time.
So the whole argument of the War Economic Crime Court, my people, Liberia is bigger than any individual. So when we start taking sides with individual over the interests of Liberia, we are in error. And let's come to check. Justice is for all. Justice is blind. It doesn't see whether that Unity Party, that CDC. CDC promised the Liberian people War Economic Crime Court. They defaulted. We said we're the rescue mission. We're better than the CDC. Prince Johnson, thanks for helping the rescue mission come to power. But the power is for the Liberian people, it's not for you. Sorry to disappoint you. The War Economic Crime Code, that you will answer for your atrocities you committed. Allegedly.
Thank you, Raymond. Prince, can you do your closing in 1 minute, sir?
Well, a good show. I want to say thank you. And I was so happy today to see Honorable the Finance Minister Buema Kamara and LRA boss at our confirmation hearing today. They really deliberated on the note on how Liberians and Liberia will succeed in the next 2 years. They brought forth. And I love what Senator Dino asked about the CTN, the continuous tracking number in Liberia at the port. Where is that money going? Why do you have that scenario of having continuous tracking number? When you get the container, they get the tracking number at once. Those are some of the reasons why we start sending things to Liberia easily. So I mean, we really want to really go after those things. It was a good show again.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Alfred, you want to go quick? Alfred, you are muted, sir. You've taken 30 seconds.
Yes. Yes, I was around 7 years old. My uncle got missing. Uncle Ansu, we never saw him again. He never came back home. So when we talk about the economy and war crime in Liberia, it's not to a specific person. Those that bear the greatest crime in our country should bear the full weight of the law. The issue of the culture of impunity in this country has killed this country. It has killed this country. That's why you will see people who come in government, they will steal and they will go scot-free. Let me just end on the note, Nelson. And you guys will get tired with me when I talk about a very revolutionary man like Lee Kuan Yew. When he took office in 1959, corruption was everywhere. Police officers used to stay in the street and collect money from people. That's what they were doing. But when he took office, even his very best friends, who he keep the power with, that got into corruption, he prosecute everybody. That's why today you see in Singapore, anything above $50, no official in government can receive any gift above 50 United States dollars. That's why you see the poor country is flourishing. We got to do these things to move our country forward. It's not about individual. Liberia is bigger than every one of us. The war in economic code is the way forward, and we look forward to Joseph Boakai doing the best thing for Liberia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ms. Cora, you want to do your closing 1 minute quickly? You are muted.
Yeah, I say thank you to everyone that enjoyed the show. No, because the mail can't deal with me. Okay, at least I don't want the part they have the war. You can have an economic crime court. I will appreciate that, but to add the part where they have the war and economic crime court, I wanted to try to just take that war. But however, if the majority of the people speak what they want, they go ahead to have it. For me, I feel worried. I am down to hear the war crime court. Because there are a lot of people who lost their life. There are people who will not come to that did a lot of bad things and they are not around to be questioned. So I think we should just let that part go away. However, I say thank you to every one of you, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Nancy, I still get 20 seconds.
No, not 20 seconds.
Well, I want to close this.
Get on you, a missionary.
I want to give a shout out to all the viewers. Thank you for all your wonderful and beautiful comments. They are contribution to the show. Please take your time to share the show. Let's talk, about Liberia. Let's make sure that we are focusing on the changes that are about to happen in Liberia. I'm so excited to see what the president and his people have to do in 100 days. Make sure that they can implement everything that they are talking about. They take away the too much talking and put everything into action. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you, Shirley. And I can understand why you didn't close up with the whole war crimes code thing. And that was
I'm not Delphine. I'm just saying I was just going based on whoever started with the Bible voice. Okay, I think the economic crime code is necessary. I still stand that we should take away war crime code, and it's just me. That's my opinion, and I will stick to it tonight.
Thank
Nelson,
you very much.
Nelson, I got a message for Sis Gladys on the Spoon Talk. Please, if you care, I can give you the message.
Okay.
Today I heard talking about the $25,000 for Sam. People that he wrote. Yeah. The simple answer I get for her is that when an economist read one paper, it affects 3 million people at once. But when a nurse can help one person at a time. So that's why when I read a book, when I read a thing, it can be too expensive. That's the problem. Okay. So hopefully you will get that. Yeah.
Thank you for defending your papi, Sam Jassy.
Let me respond to that.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Enough for you to respond to that message to somebody. That message to somebody.
Can I send a message as well?
What kind of message you want to say?
A nurse can write a book or a treatment plan that anyone can use, and it can save lives any part of the world. An economist can write a research paper that can fail and not even be implemented. So it's not.
Come on, man. We ain't talking about the one that I can fail. But man, you let her argue about everything.
Can I send message to my people on the highway?
Who talking about failed messages? Who talking about failed
papers? Can I send message to my people on the highway, please?
It's your own competition here. Nobody here will compete with you.
Everybody on this Redwood Highway, George, I'm sending a message to everyone on this Redwood Highway to please brush the me area. And when they push away, the land will become dry. People on Maryland Highway, let's take up the responsibility. Let's brush our roads fast. It will help us who can meet the 90 days. Thank you.
Thank you. A 90-day campaign you launched. Anyway, thank you, Ms. Cora. We appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Shirley, for...
Yes, I was your co-host today, so...
Thanks a lot. I sincerely appreciate that. And we look forward to having a great show tomorrow.
Okay, bye.
Okay, so folks out there, thanks for joining us. Of course, we'll be here tomorrow with another edition of the Late Night Show. Until then, I'm Nelson Collier. Have a good night. Bye-bye.